already here, if anybody's here.
How do I open it on here? Should I just go to
yeah, you have to do a different account, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Shit. Okay. Let's turn the sound down. It's definitely live.
Okay.
All right. We are ready. Oh, because I covered it. There'll probably be like a 5 seconds before like we see how it rearranges because of this setup. Oops, sorry. There it is. All right.
Well, it works.
We are here. We're here in Vancouver, Washington at the waterfront. We're here with Vegan Stoner Lady. We're Total Liberation Now. And we're going to start asking some folks in person if they want to do some interviews. And we're going to see if people are consistent with their principles. Most folks support human liberation, but do we also support liberating our animal relatives from being used as objects?
Yeah, we're asking people if they've thought about their connection to animals in the sense of the word, literally, and how they feel about that word. Like animal is something that people sometimes strive not to be, but it's not something we can run away from. So, accepting that status and regarding animals as and returning them to kin status is the only way to go. So, yeah. Hopefully we'll talk to some people soon. I know there's literally nobody in here right now, but it just feels good to finally be live. It's been a long time coming. So
I'm so happy.
yes. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, sure. I'm Vegan Stoner Lady here. I'm just here to, I want to help bring in the conversations for total liberation. So yeah, we're just out here to see if people are actually living in alignment with their own values. So.
Yeah. That we reach a certain crowd in Portland, Oregon. So we're interested in seeing what the people on this side of the river are thinking and how they relate to animals and whether they see animals as resources to be used or as individuals to be respected.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a sign if you guys.
Okay.
Oh, we'll leave that one there.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Allie.
Hi, Allie.
Are you a vegan or a non-vegan, Allie?
Hello. Oh, we got 5 in here.
Great to see some people. For anybody curious, we're here in Vancouver, Washington at the waterfront. And we're going to be doing some outreach and asking people about their relationship with other animals.
All right. You say you're not vegan. I'm wondering maybe why that is. Have you heard of veganism ever? What are your preconceived notions? Because, there's a lot of things that people say about veganism or believe veganism is. However, as we've learned, it's not just food or anything like that. It's the being anti-exploitation of all sentient beings, right? So you're abstaining injustice everywhere all at once. And so anybody can be vegan. It's not something that is inaccessible or is expensive or is ableist, right? It's actually quite the antithesis of that.
A liberation movement is accessible to everyone. If you hold the principle that animals are not ours to use, and if you support their liberation, then you can be vegan. It's accessible to anybody who has that mindset. It might be applied a little bit differently based on the context that you find yourself in. For instance, if you drop me in the middle of the woods, the way I apply my vegan ethic looks different because I don't have another choice in that instance. But within Vancouver, Washington, when I'm in proximity to cities and I shop at grocery stores and farmers markets, I have another choice and I don't have to exploit my animal relatives that I share this planet with. So if we have another choice to not exploit the animals that we share this planet with, the question becomes, why would we choose to exploit them?
Yeah. So what do you think? Hello. Hi, Vegan Anthem. It's so nice to see y'all here too. All right. Let's see. Look at it. Like it's get like. I don't know what that means.
Vegan Anthem is here.
Are you vegan? And if not, why? And what are you thinking about veganism?
Everyone who's here, share this to to your vegan chats, to your vegan discords, share this around so that we can have more people here having this discussion. Also, double tap that screen. Keep double tapping. We want to get as many people in the room so we can have a big conversation with all of you.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here, Vegan Anthem.
This is just the first of many lives, so we will expect to build traction as well as we go on. Team fight tactics, wild rift. That I'm not really following what you mean there. Do you have a justification for not being vegan, or are you vegan yourself?
Yeah, I see a few of y'all here. I want to ask about the spread of who we have. I see Vegan Anthem, but if you are a vegan, I'm going to ask you to put a 1 in the chat. Vegans put a 1. Non-vegans who are curious put a 2. And trolls and anti-vegans, you put a 3 or whatever else you're going to put. You don't follow directions typically.
Oh, you are vegan. Nice. Well, welcome. It's nice to see. Yes, animals are not objects. They are for themselves. They should be existing only for themselves. Just like you or I exist for ourselves, and we can prioritize our own, health and whatever. Like, they should be able to have the right to do that as well. So that means we can't infringe our, our beliefs on theirs. We might have somebody willing to do a conversation. You say I'm rapper to men, like my brother was rapper men, but I'm not a rapper.
Yeah.
Like, you're not a rapper, but you are? I'm not following. I'm sorry. Oh, 13 people in here. I'd like to see some explanations. Are y'all vegan? What is your concepts of veganism? Have you ever thought about what decolonizing your perspective on veganism is? Have you thought about how colonization has fueled us into, a world where we use others for our benefit? What are y'all's thoughts, if any? Sometimes you can just have no thoughts and you're like, oh, well, this sounds like something I didn't know, and I'm gonna go and research this now because before I speak on it. That's always nice too, because when we meet things with curiosity, that's when we learn the most. It's a very big sign of intelligence, curiosity. We're here today to talk about how animals deserve to exist for themselves, and how humans and other sentient beings shouldn't take advantage of others and shouldn't use anybody. And we say that there is no arbitrary or no trait that isn't arbitrary, that people use to justify using others, or causing, just unfair use of other people for their benefit. What is stopping everybody from recognizing that people don't need animals to survive, whether it's for food, for entertainment, or anything? Says, I question my family, 2 vegan in our family, me and my father. That's nice. It's always nice when family members are vegan as well, because you can actually talk to somebody, who's seen you like throughout your whole life, like about topics that are so important. And so it just makes a big difference in that feeling of dystopia, like feeling like nobody's like you, or feeling isolated in a world full of capism and the idea that animals do exist for our use, right? So yeah, that's super good to hear. I have quite a few sisters that I feel like would love to be vegan. They just have not been able to wrestle with that yet. They're dealing with some life stuff that I maybe feel like it's a little more important. But as vegans know, the urgency of the exploitation of our animal kin is so urgent, if not one of the most urgent issues on the planet right now. Oh, hello, Sabby. Or Spooky. I'm trying to call you Spooky, but I keep forgetting.
Spooky's here. Oh my
I just
goodness.
go to read it. I go to read it out loud. We stole vegan stoner lady, and we have moved over to the Portland waterfront, or not Portland. Shoot, I always say Portland because we're always in Portland, but this is the Vancouver waterfront in Washington, and so we're next to a beautiful river here, hoping that maybe the beautiful scenery and stuff can get people's minds to be a little more open. You never know. Seeing being able to gesture to some birds flying by, free right there, sometimes can aid in people's willingness to change and think. Yes, we jump states. Hello, Ian. Oh my goodness, feels kind of surreal to be live on Total Liberation now. Hopefully, we can get a conversation soon, at least one or two before we call it. Tijon, Tizon, Tizon says WTF. WTF what? Elvin, Coop, Anna. Who else? It's just us three. Nick was busy today, so he's I don't know what he's doing actually, but he's not here right now. But definitely, we're thinking about doing this location on anti-animal use too at some point because, it's just nice to switch up locations. Like how we do the farmers market, it kind of feels like the people there know us a little too much. Like people just kind of know to ignore us. Like they turn that cognitive dissonance on super early. Yeah, it's not much foot traffic. I mean, we've gotten people walking by, but not yet see anybody
Had
who's
one
wanting to.
curious passerby, but we they weren't quite ready to come on camera. We're seeing if
Yeah.
anybody else is comfortable. We only want people who are feeling ready to have a conversation, ready to just be honest, and
Mhm.
we want them to feel comfortable.
Yeah. It's very like much an uncomfortable conversation to have at times, or people feel like it's uncomfortable. So I don't know. It's kind of important that people do feel at ease a little bit. So like we even try to. I heard them tell the lady like we're nice, like because like we really are. We're never trying to really battle with people or debate.
No.
Like our beyond humankin's lives are not up for debate.
Yeah.
We're here to educate and
Raise awareness and build connections with
Exactly.
our community. Hi, Ian. I see you there.
Yes.
Spooky. Yeah, it's Elvin. It's myself and Anna. Just us here right now. Although we're here and we're enjoying the sun. It's a little bit nicer than it was earlier when we were streaming with anti-animal use. And we're looking to start up conversations here in person as well as in the chat. If there are any non-vegans, I want to ask you, what's your justification for not being vegan? How do you justify exploiting our animal relatives that we share this planet with when we don't need to,
Mhm.
when it's needless for us?
Yeah.
Everyone who's here, continue double tapping that screen. Continue double tapping it. It's important for the algorithm for YouTube. And do share the live as well.
And just share copy link that works too. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we will have some good conversations soon if we just stand here long enough. There's a lot of people who are walking by at this point. I think people are like getting off work, coming to the waterfront, picking up whatever they deem food, and trying to start relaxing or maybe coming out bringing their kids. So it is picking up. Seeing a lot more people, maybe at least 3 times more people that were here than when we started setting up. So I'm excited. We got cards. Anti-animal use cards to pass out actually too. We're still working on we're working on a lot for our channel, trying to like get cards, get our resources all set up, and make sure they're very actually informational because we really want to make sure that like we've reviewed all the resources that we're putting on there. So it kind of gets difficult, but to do so much every day. But 6 p.m. Pacific is an odd time, so it doesn't capture quite a bit of the other world audience. Yeah, that is true. It's like getting late everywhere else. Although I know, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really think about that all that much.
Thinking about animals.
We might have to just get out here earlier. Might be more of a time where we focus on just conversations and less so the chat and or the reach of the live, I guess. But I mean, I guess that's never really our focus, but it is nice. It's a nice boost. Oh yeah, 2 a.m. Dang, thank you for tuning in still. That's so amazing. Oh, lots of people who seem curious. They definitely are like looking like they don't see people who are out here with signs and tripod every day. So I'm excited. Let's see. Let's talk more veganism. Veganism says, we don't stand for the exploitation of any sentient being. Exploitation being unfair use to the benefit of yourself, or to a benefit that's not at the interest of whoever is being exploited or unfairly used, right? And sentient beings being, anybody who, can think, feel, form their own subjective experience. And, anybody that we also don't know, right? Like if we practice, what's the word? We act, if there's any uncertainty about sentience, right? We still abstain from the exploitation or use of those people. And we stand for the justice of them as well. Someone says, did you see Jake going out to Wisconsin for the Ridgeland Rats? I actually did not. I did not. No. Jake is as in Jake. Which Jake? I think Jake Lagatare, that guy? I think that's the only Jake I know. So maybe him. But if he did go, I didn't know that. No. Ridgeland Rescue is today. Yeah, okay. So him, I didn't know he went. That's super cool. I hope they stay safe and liberate as many dogs as they can. I think it's like 2,000 dogs, right? It's amazing. Hopefully there can be some, oh, wow, dang, 12 hours. That's crazy.
Want me to chat at them?
Oh, yeah, sure. You can catch yourself up and read that too.
All right. Here's this.
Oh, thank you.
Hello to the chat. I am Enigma. Catching up on the chat here. I see you, Spooky and Ian. Oh, I see what you're saying with Ian. He says it might be an odd time slot for a live. That's all right. We're just getting our feet in the water, but I hear you. It might explain why there's a little fewer people here in the room. But I'm going to ask the people who are here, if you're vegan, put a 1. Vegans, put a 1. Non-vegans, put a 2. And trolls, put a 3. So identify yourself so that we can get an idea of who's here in the chat. Let's see. Ian says, did you see Jake going out to Wisconsin for the Ridgeland Rescue? I didn't see that. Although I obviously am in solidarity with everyone trying to liberate animals, whether that is through outreach or through directly liberating them or by making some good trouble. We stand in solidarity with all of these tactics. We need a broad array of strategies in order to take down these systems that oppress both humans and beyond human animals. To everyone who's here, keep double tapping that screen and sharing the live. I want to have a big conversation with all of y'all. Somebody says, oh man, everybody who doesn't agree with you is a troll. What a fantastic way to never critically examine your worldview. So I didn't give 2 options. I didn't say put 1 if you're vegan and 2 if you're a troll. I gave a middle option, which was 2 for non-vegans. So if you're curious and open-minded, but you're just not vegan yet, you also have an option to put a 2 in the chat. Yeah, thanks, Ian. I wasn't trying to be like exclusionary or try to say that anybody who doesn't connect with the vegan message yet is just a troll. There are a lot of misconceptions in this world about what veganism is. We're here to raise awareness about total liberation veganism, which is opposing the objectification of the animals that we share this planet with. It is asking the question, is it justified for us to exploit, use, and kill animals for food or clothing or entertainment when we have another option, when we don't need to participate in that violence? Let us know if you think it's justified to continue participating in that violence. We know most of y'all are against human injustices, but we're asking, should we extend these principles consistently to also oppose the injustices that plague our beyond human relatives that we share this planet with? Should we also oppose the oppression of our fellow earthlings when they are needlessly turned into objects and used against their will? Does any of that sound fair? Hi, I think it's Marabella. It's great to see you here. I'm bad with names, but I want to get to know everybody who's here. Everybody keep double tapping that screen, keep sharing the live. To any of the non-vegans who are here, I definitely don't mean to attack. I don't want to spar at all. I just want to open up this conversation and talk about a realm of ethics that's been hidden from us. We don't talk about or we don't think about this idea because it's a little bit uncomfortable, but sometimes it's important to lean into what is an uncomfortable conversation because it allows us to become more just and it allows us to advance as a people. Somebody says, just go eat some Jello. So there's vegan Jello, there's plant-based Jello. I'm not sure what your point is about that. Leave another comment in the chat to explain what you mean. It's great to see you here, Sabby Coops. I want to ask all of the folks who are posing some opposition to leave their best justification for exploiting other animals in the chat. What would justify using them for their body or their secretion, using them for entertainment, clothing, or testing, when we have another option, when we don't need to use them for those reasons? Is needless violence justified, in your opinion? Let me know. Thank you to everyone who's here. Keep double tapping that screen. Keep sharing the live. We're a newer channel, so it's especially important to share the live so we can get the word out. Spooky says vegan Jello is better than boiled animal bones. So this is an important point that Spooky is making. The key ingredient in non-vegan Jello is gelatin. And this is crushed up bones. It's crushed up, just crushed up body parts from different animals. And we need to ask ourselves, if we have another option, if we can pick up the plant Jello that isn't composed of crushed up bones, why wouldn't we choose that one? What would justify picking up the one that's made of animal bones? And let's imagine for a second that they didn't have the plant option. You're at the grocery store, you want Jello, but they don't have a plant option. Do you think it's justified to purchase a needless product, an inherently needless dessert that is implicated in violence, that has somebody's bones crushed up in it? Is it justified to buy it just because you can't find an alternative? You don't need Jello, right? None of us need it. It's more of a product that we enjoy. It's an indulgence. So you can either skip out or look for the plant-based option. Those are better alternatives, I'm arguing, than paying for our animal relatives to be killed so their bones can be crushed and turned into a delicacy. Hello, Jason. It's great to see you here. I just love to have all the vegans here. I'm going to ask y'all to keep double tapping the screen. Just please like the live and share it as well. We're trying to get more people here. The bigger audience we have, the more folks that we reach, and the more minds that we can. What's this? Oh, okay. I'm going to ask the vegans who are here to put a 1. Vegans put a 1 in the chat. And non-vegans who are open-minded put a 2. And non-vegans who are closed-minded and trolls put a 3. And to everybody who's curious what's happening, we are here on the Vancouver Waterfront in Washington State, and we are asking folks about animal ethics. We're asking, is it more ethical to relate to animals as resources to be used or as individuals to be respected? What are your thoughts? Leave them in the chat so that I can get back to you. Not necessarily here to spar. I'm enjoying the sunlight here in Vancouver. It's a little bit nicer than it was earlier in Portland when we were streaming with anti-animal use. But I'm asking the non-vegans, leave your justification for not being vegan. Leave your justification for exploiting our animal relatives that we share this planet with. Leave it in the chat so that I can open up this discussion. I'm not going to attack you, but I am going to critically examine some of these reasons just to see if they hold up to scrutiny. Let's see. I see Jason. I see Spooky. It's great to have y'all here. I appreciate vegans tuning in. I know there's not a lot of action here, but as we gain more traction and have more lives on Total Liberation now, we'll definitely be in need of your support in terms of having moderators, keeping the chat somewhat free of bigotry, as well as just responding to some of the non-vegan comments in the chat. You've already started that. I've seen some engagement between some non-vegans and vegans, and that's exactly what we are hopeful that vegans who are joining the live are doing, just because we can't respond to every disagreement, or rather we can't respond to every argument against veganism, just because sometimes they move fast or we're currently addressing the last one. So your presence is greatly appreciated. I'm going to ask everybody here, keep double tapping that screen. Keep double tapping. And if you're curious where we're at, we are in Vancouver, Washington on the waterfront. And we're looking to have some discussions with people in the chat if you're a non-vegan, as well as in person if people are feeling comfortable enough to be on camera, about the question of how we should relate to our fellow animals. Should we relate to our animal relatives as objects to be used or as individuals to be respected? Is it more justified to pick up the mock meat or the can of beans in the store, or is it more justified to pick up the animal flesh? If we have a choice not to participate in an animal being objectified in a system of violence, why would we choose to participate? Why wouldn't we opt out? If we are people who align ourselves with liberation, why not consistently enact that by also extending our liberatory scope to all earthlings that we share this planet with? Thank you, Spooky, for the hearts in the chat. It's great to have you here. Yes, channel growth will happen. It's the first stream. We're very cognizant of that and very grateful and very happy to be here. We've already had some off-camera discussions here in Vancouver, and those are always very rewarding as well. Although I love to have them on camera so y'all can be in on it as well. I'm seeing a lot of people here, 19. I love to have y'all here. Please double tap that screen. Please share the live. I am Enigma. We are here in Vancouver, Washington on the waterfront, and we're looking to have conversations about animal ethics. Is it more ethical to relate to other animals as resources to be exploited, or as individuals who deserve bodily autonomy and respect? What do you think? Let us know your answer in the chat so that I can get back to you. Hello, VSL. I see you in person and in the chat. It's great to have all the vegans here. And thank you for spamming some hearts. I'm going to ask the vegans to spam some more green hearts in the chat, just so the YouTube algorithm gets to know us. Vegans, put some green hearts in the chat, just like Spooky did. I appreciate your engagement, just so that we can get some more folks in here. The algorithm can get to know us. We're very new. And for anybody who's joined a little bit recently and is curious of what's going on, please keep double tapping that screen as well. And we're in Vancouver. We're in Vancouver, Washington. Somebody says DB Cooper. Oh, that's Jason. Hi, Jason. It's great to have you here as well. I've heard of that story. Honestly, I don't know all that much about it, which might be a little ironic to some, but I honestly don't know much about that. I'm going by Enigma here on the channel, just to draw attention to the fact that I identify more as a gender ambiguous person. You can use any pronouns you want for me. It's not all that relevant personally, but I'm getting at the fact that there's more of a mystery to me than simply boxing me into manhood. In addition to that, I feel that kind of embodying a more mysterious, kind of nameless presence, it redirects attention to the animals that I'm trying to stand in solidarity with for their liberation. Sometimes when, if I were to talk about myself, I feel like it can kind of get attention away from them. So that's why I go by Enigma, if anybody was curious.
Someone said that's not Anna.
No.
Oh.
Thank y'all for putting some emojis in the chat. We have 12 people here.
Hi, Jason.
Thank you for being here, Ian.
I need to follow you on Instagram. I just remembered I started this morning.
He's pulling his computer apart right now.
Let's see. Okay, so it looks like we have a religious person in the chat saying Jesus is coming soon. It's good to have you here. There are many Christians who respect animals as individuals, and there are many Christians who oppress animals and treat them as resources. So just like non-Christians, it's the same type of ethical calculation for Christians as well. You can choose to participate and violate the bodies of our fellow earthlings, or you can boycott that system and you can choose not to contribute to the violation and to the use of our fellow earthlings. So if you have a choice not to contribute to oppression and not to violate another animal's body, why would you choose to violate them? Why not? Why not stand in solidarity with them and support their liberation as well? Looks like we have some trolls here. It's always have some trolls in the YouTube chat.
Trolls, I love the trolls. Oh, that's a really clever name.
Everybody who's here, keep double tapping that screen. Keep sharing the live. If there are any chats, vegan-related chats that you're part of, and you think they might want to, and you know, some folks would be interested in watching some total liberationist outreach.
Misfit Jam?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Awesome. Hey, VSL here. I mean, real VSL. Obviously, there's a VSL look-alike in here. Awesome. What's up, everyone? Spooky. I see you, Jason Gut. What's up? Or is it Goot? Actually, you know what? I've never said your last name, so I'm not 100% on that. Super angry. Are you a carnivore? That's right. Oh, wait, you talking to somebody else? Super angry elf. Is that who you're talking to? Because that does happen. It is Goot. Okay. All right. Right on. Jason Goot. Lovely to see you here. Oh, you're real, are you? Oh, that's too funny. How's everyone doing? It's good to see y'all. All right. We got a few people in here. That's not bad for a first live. So yeah, just make sure you're tapping the screen. Make sure you're sharing if you can. I just shared on Instagram and on TikTok. You know, we're gonna get as many people as we can in here. So really appreciate everyone being here. Everyone's pretty shy right now. There were some people out on the dock, but I think the sun got covered, so it's like people are, you know, I don't know. It feels like they're kind of disappearing. The sun comes out and suddenly they're everywhere, and then it goes away and they kind of fade. And yeah, they fade away. But we were talking to someone for like a second, but she was walking to her car and motivated to head out. So, but there's lots of people just kind of leisuring around. There's a lot of restaurants though. Like we're literally across the street from a burger and whiskey bar. So, we're probably steeped in cognitive dissonance here. People are probably very unaware. Oh, Ian. Too cold for the rich people at the river to be out yet, and I guess so. Oh, see, it's starting to pick up a little bit. There's a few people.
Too cold for the rich people at the river to be out yet.
It did just suddenly get colder. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. We're just here to obviously ask people about their values and if they actually live in alignment with them. A lot of people here walk their dog, so a lot of them are very, you know, they care about their companion. So I'm sure they're the exact person that we should be speaking to. A lot of people are a little more well off here too, so there's no excuse about expense. We have a lot of resource. We have access to a lot of things on this side of the river. So, yeah. Hey, doing interviews. You want to be interviewed? All right, no worries, no worries. Oh, they seem like honest people. Almost.
Please don't let this happen to me.
Don't let this happen to me. I promise we're a happy bunch. Awesome. Just make sure you guys are still tapping. Let's see how you guys got on all messages.
Is that train? Is that the noise from the train?
That is.
Wow, it travels.
Yeah, it's loud. Yeah. That's the train also. If you take the Starlight, that's the bridge you would take. I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you cross the river right there.
Where? To anybody who's curious, we're here in Vancouver. There's a little delay in our, it's like usually we have it live. So, but anyway, and for anybody who's curious, we're here in Vancouver, Washington on the waterfront, and we're having discussions in person, as well as with anybody in the chat who's curious about how we should relate to other animals. Should we relate to them as resources to be exploited or as individuals to be respected and with bodily autonomy and desires of their own?
So if you're not vegan, can you maybe list what's holding you back from being vegan? Maybe we can address that in the comments. We're here to ask people, you know, what are their values and see if they're actually living in alignment with them. I think most people want to live consistently. They want to be consistent. And I think that, you know, it's kind of like your zipper is down when you're living out of alignment with that. And I think as good people would, they would tell, hey, your zipper's down. You're exploiting someone. And I'm sure you don't want to do that. It comes as a courtesy, but it's mostly for the victims because, you know, other animals are sentient, are family kin. I was trying to use.
Oh, you're trying to.
I'm trying to upgrade. I'm trying to evolve.
Jason says, I love Elwoods too. Yeah, they can be a very powerful kind of tool.
Nope. Oh.
Elwoods is a powerful tool to highlight inconsistencies within people's ethical systems.
Yes.
if it's not fair to chop a dog up and use their body and take away their life from them, why is it fair to do that to a fish or a pig? What would be the difference, do you think, between a dog and a fish or a pig that makes it okay, that makes it acceptable to do this to the fish or the pig, but off limits to do that to the dog? What do you think?
Leave it in the comments so we can address it.
Good to have you here, Vegan Anthem. Good to have you here, Jason. Everybody here, keep double tapping that screen. We are a fairly new channel. This is our first live stream, so we need your help in terms of sharing the live to get it with bigger reach. Keep double tapping. We'll be here consistently at Total Liberation now. So I know as YouTube gets to know us and as the algorithm gets used to our channel being active, we will be rewarded by the YouTube gods. Let's see, I see you, Spooky. You say non-vegans in chat, ask us questions. Yeah, I think there's several vegans in here, but I think there's a couple non-vegans. But you're feeling a little shy, I think. I'm asking the non-vegans who are here, who might be just watching along, to leave your biggest personal obstacle to going vegan in the chat. I'll address it. And I'm not here to spar or start an argument, but I am here to start a critical conversation about the way that humans relate to other animals. Is it fair for us? Is it just for us to relate to animals as objects to be used when we could instead relate to them as individuals to be respected? Super Angry Elf says no difference. Preference and opinion for majority of society dictated morals. That's why in China it's normal to eat dogs. So if there's no difference between a dog and a pig, do you think it's justified to consume the pig if there's no difference between them and the dog? And I also want to ask, you said there's a preference and opinion of the majority of society. So has there ever been a time in history when a majority of humans has supported an injustice? If so, then we cannot use the majority opinion to develop and to ascertain our ethical system. I mean, I'm sure you can think of a few examples in which humans, as a majority, participated in and believed in something immoral. I think of personally the way in which humans have, as a majority, colonized the globe. That wasn't correct, even though a lot of humans participated in it. Or for instance, as a queer person, as a trans person, we might make up 1, maybe 2, 3% of the population, but that doesn't mean it's acceptable for the majority to oppress us, to take away our rights, to transgress us or violate our bodies. So just because a majority opinion dictates something, that doesn't make it moral. I want to thank all the vegans who are here. Hello to Spooky. Hello to Jason. I really appreciate y'all staying here. I know there's not too much action yet, but it could be coming. We are still looking. Yeah, we have an off-camera conversation right now, and we're still looking to have some on-camera conversations once folks are comfortable enough for that. Everybody keep double tapping that screen. And to anybody curious, we're here in Vancouver, Washington, at the Vancouver Waterfront, and we're starting up conversations to the folks in the chat, as well as with people in person, about how humans ought relate to the animals that we share this planet with. Is it more fair for us to relate to them as individuals with their own bodily autonomy? Or is it more fair for us to relate to them as objects to be used and exploited? Which of those most lines up with your own ethical system? Hi, Jason. Yeah, Super Angry Elf, Spooky says, normality does not equate morality. Yeah, just because something is normal or supported by a majority of people, that doesn't make it moral. That doesn't make it acceptable. There are so many injustices throughout history which were enforced by a majority of people, but those injustices didn't become more just simply because a lot of people supported them. So appealing to the majority, or the fact that a lot of people do consume animals and their secretions, or that a lot of people do participate in zoos and aquariums and animal testing, none of that has relevance on whether that exploitation is ethical or acceptable. It's just demonstrating that a lot of people currently support it. It's just demonstrating that that's a moral blind spot, so to speak, within our society. Not sure if that's the term I like to use, but sort of a moral Let's see. Okay, Super Angry Elf has replied, throughout history until current day, humans have used animals as a food source. That's just not true. There have been many human groups who have chosen to sustain themselves on a plant-only diet. And if we have the choice here today, if we live with access to grocery stores and farmers markets, why would we choose to use animals when we don't need to? Why would we choose to put them in this situation on our behalf when we have another choice, when we could pick up a mock meat, a bag of beans, a bag of lentils, some soy curls? Why would we choose to put animals in a position that we would never want to be in ourselves? Somebody's Super Angry Elf continued by saying, so I do believe normality equates to morality as a totally of society. That doesn't make too much sense. So I'm going to have you repaste your comment in the chat. Maybe rephrase it because I can't understand it right now. Yeah, but just because something has happened throughout history, just because it's happened for a very long time, that doesn't make it justified. For instance, like there's been the oppression of women for a very long time. Queer people have been oppressed by a colonial mindset of the gender binary for hundreds of years. But these injustices don't become more fair. They don't become closer to justice simply because they have been happening for a long time. Longevity doesn't equal morality. Slavery of humans, direct slavery, has been happening for a very long time, and it continues to happen inside the prison industrial complex. And just because it's been happening there, and it's happened for a long time, does not make it okay. I don't mean to get passionate, but that's a very twisted logic that something's happened for a long time, therefore it's acceptable, therefore it's in line with liberation. That's not true. So just to interject, I do want to say that I'm not here to spar. I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to open up a conversation. I'm asking everybody here to keep double tapping that screen, keep sharing the live, and if anybody has joined more recently and is curious what's happening, where we're here in Vancouver, Washington, on the waterfront, and we're having conversations with people both in person as well as with y'all in the chat about the question of animal ethics. Is it ethical? Is it justified for us to oppress other animals, to use them as objects when we have another choice, when we didn't need to oppress them? What do you think? Hello, Jason Gutt. I see you. He says up until the 1980s, assault was moral. Yeah, it was. And that was the case for hundreds of years within the US legal system. The oppression of women was baked into it. And that didn't become more moral just because it was happening for a long time. Just like Jason was getting at. And like Vegan Anthem said, it's also the tradition fallacy. The tradition fallacy is similar to the idea that something's been happening for a long time, or it's become sort of a cultural habit. And certainly there's been many cultural customs too, which are not acceptable, which we agree in the name of liberation must be discarded and left in the waste bin of history. For instance, sometimes there have been traditions to chop up dogs, to treat them as objects and to eat their flesh, not because we need to, but because we see their flesh as desirable or tasty. Just because that's a tradition, that doesn't make it just. From the perspective of each dog who has their life stolen from them, that is completely unfair and unjustified. And if we have another choice, why would we want to be part of it? Why not opt out of that system, that circle of violence and exploitation? Why not opt out? Hello to Spooky. It's great to have you here. I appreciate your engagement. I know we don't have a lot of folks here on our first live. The algorithm is getting to know us. So I appreciate all of the vegans who do decide to stick around, especially. I'm going to ask everyone to keep double tapping that screen. If there are any non-vegans here, I feel like there are a couple. I'm seeing lots of vegans commenting, but I think there's a couple non-vegans in there too. And I want to challenge you to put your best argument against veganism or your best argument for exploiting other animals in the chat so that I can open up a conversation with you and respond to some of it. Spooky says, Argumentum ad antiquitatum is no reason to exploit animals. Okay, Spooky's bringing out like the official fallacy names. I don't even know those.
No, antiquity, though. I know that's word. I don't remember what antiquity means. So it's like an argument for antiquities.
It's great to have everybody here.
Should we switch? Yeah, we'll switch. Hello, I am back. Got a couple people in here. Nice. I'm seeing all these. I don't know if Super Angry Elf's still in here, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think those are justifications for using others. At least valid ones. I mean, there really is none. So you can try all you want to try to find one, but what you'll end up arriving at is that there's no justification for using others for your purpose or for whatever you deem is beneficial. There's no trait that separates them from us. There's no logical, you know, statement that makes any sense to use others. Yes. Fallacies. Let's see what else they had said. Oh, I did see this. Yeah, talking about how in China it's normal to eat dogs, and we were talking about Elwood's farm. So it's interesting to think about how there actually are some cultures who would see Elwood's dog farm and be like, "Oh, this is the perfect, um, moment to order my dogs, and because I normally can only have to raise my own dogs. I can't order them from anywhere. So maybe now I'll just export them from wherever Elwoods is at." And then they find out that it's fake. And then it's like, advocating actually for the rights of animals in some way. And so then they might be like, "Oh no." But yeah, so it's just interesting to think how there's two people, right? Or the two situations where we might have someone. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Totally. Okay, so I don't know if I'm in it or not. Can you see it?
If dogs go
Oh,
by,
good.
they're gonna bark.
Okay, no worries. That's totally fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, so my name's Elvin.
Hello,
I don't know if you want to share your name or not. That's totally fine too.
I'm Jess.
Nice to meet you. We're here asking people today about oppression, and as well as their relationship to animals. So it'll get into that in a little bit, but just to establish some base points. Do you believe that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless in any situation, given like arbitrary traits, like whether they're smarter than somebody else or stronger, or maybe they look different? Like, should they have the right to oppress somebody else based on those traits?
Oh.
Okay, perfect. So we totally agree there. What we are talking about today, or bringing awareness to, or trying to, right, is the animal, like our other fellow animals, right? Because humans are animals. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And so so I agree there. And I would say, like, do you believe that we are oppressing our other animals, like the other species of animal that are on the planet? Okay, perfect. So have you ever thought about, your relationship with the word animal? Like, I know we, like, it's a word people use all the time, but what does it mean in your mind to like be seen as an animal? Or when you commonly hear that, or people are deemed animals, like, what does that bring it into mind for you? Like, any visuals or
I feel like a being with choice.
like?
Because I don't think of like a plant as an animal, but like,
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? So like
Mhm.
some type of like living thing with choice
Yeah.
when
the
it comes to mind.
Yeah. The thing that we typically ascribe it to is like sentience. Have you heard that before?
I don't know what that means. But
Sentience?
yes, I've heard it.
I had to do research on it
Yes,
too, because I was like,
definition,
I'm like,
please.
nobody's really talking about like what it actually is. So
Yeah.
sentience is just going to be like that, be ability to think and feel pain, form connections, maybe like even down to just like the ability to form your own subjective experience, right? Know what's going on, feeling that moment, um, and so, like, yeah, we say plants don't have that, right? Because like a plant can be getting burned by the sun, but they can't like run from the sun.
Yes.
But animals, or sentient beings, creatures, they very much can and do. And so we see that, and then we relate to them through that way. Like, we know, like, we hate, or a lot of people dislike or are against like greyhound racing, or zoos or rodeos, because we recognize that, oh, those animals are just in pain and like they're trying to escape that, right? I want to ask you, have you ever heard of speciesism? Okay, would you care for me to explain?
I mean, it just sounds like you're just
Like
against whatever
racism or
species. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like just species based. Oh no.
Speciesism.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. They love dogs. Yeah.
It's just species based discrimination, right? So saying like believing maybe that like humans are inherently superior to
Yeah.
all other like
Okay.
beings, right? Who also roam the earth and like, you know, we're also put here. And so I guess that will lead me to veganism. Have you heard of veganism?
Yes.
Or, I want to ask maybe what are your preconceived notions about veganism as of like as you know it right now? Anything you've collected, right?
Preconceived notions.
Yeah, like-
Just generally, it's like you put more thought into what you're putting in your body.
Yeah, that can definitely is part of it.
Like
I would say.
negative ones. I mean, that's a positive one.
No. I mean, like, well, just like in general, like the definition, or like, have you ever heard a definition of veganism?
No, I don't think a definition necessarily. Like it's
That's
not
perfect.
eating animals.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, that is like probably the biggest, one of the bigger consequences of
Oh,
veganism,
okay.
right? Veganism is actually just like the ethical stance that somebody takes, saying that they are against the exploitation of all other sentient beings, right? Acknowledging that speciesism exists,
Okay.
that like there's hierarchies of, that are of power, right? That, use these justifications to harm others. And so we just believe, like as vegans, right, that extends to other species as well, like dogs or cats. Like we wouldn't want anybody to exploit them. There's dogs they use for animal testing. There's actually like a big liberation movement today, I think it was, for them to like free 2,000 dogs from animal testing. And so like we root for those things, while recognizing that these animals have been commodified and like reduced to object level status. um has that ever would you ever think about going vegan, maybe now that that it's like that ethical stance, or do you feel like it'd be in alignment with your morals or something that?
Yeah, I actually recently like in the past couple years, went pescatarian, and so I think more aligned like with that, but also
Mhm.
just what feels good in my body.
Yeah.
I think I'm not against it at all. I wish that there was easier access to
Yeah.
healthy food.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think you'd be glad to know,
but yes,
hopefully,
I would be
that like
open to it. It's my short answer.
That's good. That's good. Well, I'm glad because a lot of people like they've just heard so many things about it, and like that it's just like, I don't know. A lot of people tell us like it's classist and it's ableist because like it's inaccessible and
Okay.
whatever, and so you can't force people to do these things. But what we're getting at is like veganism is not the diet like at all. It's just your mental. How do you view, like, what is your relationship with animals, and how does that like govern the way that you move throughout your life, and theirs, because now you're taking into consideration like the individual life of every animal. And we just believe that it's the only way to really live consistently with our own morals. Not that like I believe this and like everybody else should follow this because I believe it, but
Yeah.
I believe that us all, like, we agree, like, the way we treat and we try to like, bond with our companion animals, or like the domesticated animals that we do take care of, right? Um, just like extending that moral consideration to all animals, and realizing like especially these systems of like breeding and slaughtering like trillions of animals per year just for something as trivial as food. When like science has shown like we can get everything we need on a plant-based diet, as long as we're either planning. I actually don't plan my diet at all. I just like eat enough plants and hope I'm good. And like, yeah, because like what they make it seem like is they make it seem really, really difficult on purpose, because the whole world, it thrives on animal agriculture and this idea that like of ownership, right? And placing yourself at a higher than somebody else, and even and so and able to dismantle all the hierarchies that we deem necessary to dismantle. We just also acknowledge, or try to acknowledge and bring awareness to that that
It's okay.
animals are part of that too.
Yeah.
And us being animals ourselves, like we should even
I know.
we have a lot to say.
You have a lot to say
They
too.
do. That's
I
so
know,
fine.
animals.
Hello. But yeah, so yeah, we're just questioning people, wondering if maybe they're willing to change that mindset in their head and go vegan, right? And then what follows after is, maybe if just trying to figure out how to make plant-based options more, more often, because and a lot of as close to 100% of the time as you can, because like, right, if you're really acknowledging that each individual animal's like worth, right, and they're trying to give them their moral consideration that we feel they deserve, or do you feel like you would say that they deserve like each individual
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm very vegan in my heart and not always in action, I guess
Yeah.
is the way to say it. It's
Well, it
like
can be hard because
I see I think just more on like a spiritual lens, I guess I'll say it. Is like I just see it as like them as equal being what makes me more deserving than my dogs who can't talk.
yes,
Like,
exactly.
and they are talking. They're telling me they don't like that. They're just talking in
Yeah.
a different way.
They're like, yeah, exactly. And so that's another part of it, is we recognize that intelligence is so arbitrary. Like all these traits, right? Intelligence, strength. There are also things that we say animals either have or don't have. They have too much of it, don't have enough. And we use that as like justifications as society as a whole to like perpetuate their harm.
Yeah.
And so the only way to not aid in the exploitation of any being would to be changing that mentality in your head, because once you understand that, right, like you then inherently don't want to cause harm to anyone
Yes.
or exploit anybody.
Yes.
So I guess I have a card with a bunch of resources if you would like them.
Yeah.
So this side is going to have this is our website here.
Okay.
Or not, we're with Total Liberation now. It's like a second channel, but we also do work with any animal use, and they're just much more established on that channel. So that's are the resources there. So one QR code shows, I don't know if you've heard of Dominion at all. It's called it's a documentary. It just shows the standard practice of like what happens in factory farms and stuff. It's kind of like the base level of what has to happen just for this world to function the way that it does, with animal agriculture and using animals as, product, and how we've reduced them to objects. And it's really sad to watch, but I feel like it's necessary, especially if like people are going to choose to continue using animals, and not like trying to, reconnect with because I in my head I view them, I'm very much decolonizing my perspective on like everything. So I'm trying to reform, what's it called? Oh, I'm trying to re-award animals their status as like kin. Like, if that makes sense, like how you said spiritually, like you feel like they're not above us or anything. I feel the same way in the sense that even like we owe it to them to do better for them. And like, so I try to treat all animals as if kin to us, because like if we had no labels and anything, and everybody was stripped down and like forced to survive, like these would just be our brothers, our sisters, our siblings.
This
So
is my family.
yes, exactly. And so like we're already so able to connect with animals as family in other ways. Like it really is only that like cognitive dissonance that comes in when we're eating, or when we're trying to enjoy like some animal experience at the zoo, that people kind of like turn their brain off just a little bit, so that they don't, they can still connect and feel that connection, but something's missing there. And it's the idea that they belong in that captivity, or that they belong on that plate, or it's safe, it's okay.
It's okay.
We'll wrap it up just so they can get going too. But yeah. So one side of that card shows the documentary, which will show you the standard practice, and then the other one is full of so many resources, and it'll show you like even free food programs that are around here or just across the river in Portland. that like serve free vegan food, plant-based options.
Cool.
And I guess I just want to stress that like veganism, right? Do you feel like is it the diet or is it not the diet? I just want to like recap.
It sounds like it's more than the diet. It's more
Yes.
of a mentality.
Yes.
Yeah, like similarly, like I think it was like a week ago, somebody had said like, are you a dog owner or a dog lover? And I was like, I'm a dog lover because like I don't own my animals.
Yes.
This is my family. These are
Yes.
my like
Exactly.
yeah, and like I mean, if you think about it, like really think about it too, like they're much more intelligent than I will ever be in so many ways, you know, like they might see this dog and I'm like, you're safe, you're fine. But to them, they're like, no, I sensed
They're
it
like,
and
no.
this isn't good.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
they might know something I don't know. So I just give them the benefit of the doubt of that.
Yeah. That's another reason why like I think one that is overlooked quite often is the fish aspect, because that's another like their world is so far from ours. I tend to think like I couldn't even imagine what is going on. Like, you know, they know the current, they know
Yeah.
like where to go, they
Yeah.
know how to survive down there. They know how to breathe. Like I don't even know how to breathe down there. But like there's intelligence all over each species, right?
Yeah.
So it all becomes arbitrary when we talk about, who deserves what based on what they can do for others.
Yeah.
And then that's also tied into like ableism
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And, saying people with different abilities deserve different things. So yeah, I just like, we urge people to maybe think about the different connections of these oppressions, and urge them that, human and animal liberation is actually going to have to be one and all fought together, because, any justification that people use for like slavery, right? It's the same justifications people use for animals. They say like, well, they're not, they can't even give consent, like, or, whatever like that. Like, I don't know, people said like slaves needed to be whipped because like they were unruly and violent otherwise. But it's like, yes, of course they're violent. Like, look at the conditions they live in. Like,
You can say the same things with like kids, right? Like, and
yes,
it's like, no,
literally.
but kids are just living
Exactly,
their lives.
like-
They don't know.
like,
Like, they
no.
literally don't know.
They
until
don't
you
know at
teach
all.
them. You're teaching them their worth.
Exactly. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
we raise awareness about that and
Cool.
get people to think about that. Are you thinking about, would you maybe be willing to go plant-based maybe until you watch that documentary?
I
Or
think I want to, like, yes, and I just like to research things before I
Yeah,
like, but it definitely
totally,
like gets
yes.
my brain moving
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm glad.
Um,
There's a
Yeah.
couple like books that start on it. There's one from Peter Singer. It's just called Animal Liberation. That's probably easy to remember.
Is that not a good one either? They're not usually this intense, but I'm not taking sit. And honestly, if I would let them go say hi, they would try to play with the dog. So it's so ridiculous. I wish you could tell.
No worries.
What was the book?
Animal Liberation by
Animal
Peter Singer.
Liberation.
It just
Okay.
breaks down like pretty much the basics. There's definitely a lot more critical thought. There's a lot of like, I like to read a lot of like feminist critical thought, like maybe not from men, just because
I know,
sometimes
you
it
don't
can
have to
be
say it.
it can be like, yeah, it can be rooted in there, like
Sure,
the
the
ego, yes, exactly. And especially like as we see right now, like, and there's actually another one from Carol J. Adams is going to be The Sexual Politics of Meat.
Okay.
She's amazing writer. She's just has so much good thought, and so yeah, I definitely suggest reading those and just looking into it. Yeah, just doing some more research, and I think you'll be great. But anyway,
Thank you.
I already appreciate the conversation and the openness and the intelligence and everything. Curiosity, it's amazing. I love
Thanks for
how
talking
great
about
your
this.
dogs feel about you. Like, it's just so nice to see like
They're doing their best.
a dog lover, not somebody who acknowledges that. It's always great. So
Good.
yeah, it was nice to meet you, Jess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice to meet you as well. Thanks for being out here.
Yeah, of course.
For caring.
Of course,
We
yes.
need that.
Yeah, they need us, the animals,
Yes.
they want people speaking up for them, so it's important.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.
Bye. Oh, sure.
Hello to those in the chat. Just had our first on-camera discussion as Total Liberation Now.
Yes. It was really good. Yeah.
Hello to everybody here. Keep double tapping that screen. Keep sharing the live. We're looking to have more in-person conversations with people who are comfortable enough to be on camera. Thank you for being here, Daniel Broccoli. I see you. Hello, Spooky. I see lots of vegans here, but I feel like there's a couple non-vegans probably in the mix too. So I'm going to ask the non-vegans to put your best argument for exploiting other animals. When we have another choice, put that in the comments so that I can address that. Everybody here, keep double tapping that screen, keep sharing the live. I know the YouTube algorithm doesn't know us too much yet, but we're going to be out here consistently. Usually with anti-animal use, we're on the Portland side of the river, but today we're here in Vancouver, Washington, on the Washington side. And we're asking folks about how we should relate to the animals, the fellow earthlings that we share this planet with. Should we relate to our fellow earthlings as objects or resources to be exploited? Or should we relate to them as individuals who need respect, who deserve respect and bodily autonomy? What do you think? Daniel Broccoli says 0 excuses for animal abuses. I agree with you, Daniel. What would be the justification for abusing, exploiting, killing, using the skin, using animals for entertainment? What would be the justification for this violence, for these violations against other animals when we have another option, when it's completely needless? What would justify needless violence towards our animal relatives? What do you think? Hi, Jason. I see you in the chat. I'm going to ask the vegans to paste green hearts in the comments. Vegans paste green hearts in the comments so that we can get the algorithm moving, as well as non-vegans, put your best argument against veganism in the chat. Or if you have a big personal obstacle that keeps you from going vegan, paste that in the chat as well so that I can address some of that. I see you, Jason. Good to see you. Everybody keep double tapping that screen. We're here in Vancouver, Washington. We are talking to folks about the interconnection between these systems that oppress humans, such as capitalism, colonialism, racism, white supremacy, the connections between those human injustices, as well as the oppression of our beyond human relatives. Seeing lots of green hearts. Thank you to the vegans. It's great to have y'all here. It's going to be increasingly important to have you there as we get more folks into the live so you can keep the chat somewhat free of bigotry. We are not here to make space for any type of bigotry. It won't be tolerated and anybody would be immediately muted.
Thank you, Scoop Spooky. Well done. Thank you. Hi, Daniel. I don't know if you're still in here, but hi. My goodness. It's so nice to see our fellow vegans on our channel. Because like I just love it. The energy is amazing.
It's great to see folks that we usually say anti-animal use. To anybody who's a non-vegan who might be feeling a little shy, I'm not necessarily here to spar with you or to attack you. I'm simply here to ask, what justifies treating animals as objects to be used rather than individuals to be respected? What justifies attending the aquarium and contributing to the sea animals being confined in tanks when we could instead watch a nature documentary that is in the water with cameras where the fish are free, where the animals are free? What would justify going into a grocery store and contributing to a cow being exploited and chopped up by purchasing their flesh when you could instead pick up a bag of beans or a bag of lentils? What would justify those violations of our animal relatives when we had another option? What justifies going into a clothing store to purchase wool clothes or leather clothes, which are the fur and the skin of the animals that we share this planet with? What would justify picking those products up when you could pick a bamboo or a hemp or a cotton product instead? What justifies causing animals to be exploited on our behalf when we don't need to cause that? When we don't need to exploit them, why would we? That's what the question we're getting at. Hello, Daniel. It's great to see you here. Yes, it's great to have all the supportive, active vegans. Have another vegan here.
Ooh, Eston.
I love to see y'all.
I don't think I know.
I don't know if I see you at anti-animal use.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you here. If you're curious where we're at, we're in Vancouver, Washington. We do a lot of our activism on the Portland side of the river with anti-animal use. We have vegan donor lady here. But today we're here in Vancouver on the Washington side, and we're asking folks in the chat, if you're a non-vegan, as well as with the folks walking by in person, we're asking how should we relate to other animals as resources to be exploited and used, or as individuals who deserve bodily autonomy of their own? What do you think? Somebody says, your outreach style, oh, this is Eston, your outreach style is so refreshing and effective. Love y'all. Total liberation yesterday. I love that. It's so great to have you here. If you're appreciating this style of activism, please do subscribe. We're going to be doing this regularly. This is just the beginning for Total Liberation Now. This is our first live stream, so there's going to be a lot more traffic, a lot more conversations to come.
I imagine that in like a year or so, we're also doing like table talks and stuff like that too, where people can
Debate
sit
tables,
down,
yeah, or debate, kind of more
debate,
conversation
because
style.
like I said before, our our beyond human beyond human kin is their lives are not up for debate. We are not debating. We don't spar with people about this stuff. It is simply a fact that they deserve rights and that they deserve to live, and that they should, in some cases, their flourishment and thriving should be put before ours, just with the capacity of what we've done to their
Eston is spooky approved. That's good to know. It's so great to have all of y'all here. If you're not already subscribed to Total Liberation Now, please do consider subscribing. Also subscribe to Vegan Stoner Lady. Please subscribe there. Very effective activist.
If you're not already, I'll
Yes,
probably
please. If you're not subscribed to Anti-Animal Use, that is where we are when we're doing activism on the Oregon side in Portland. So do subscribe there as well.
Although don't be surprised if we end up coming to the Vancouver Waterfront too in Washington to do some anti-animal use stuff, because it's just feels nice over here. There's a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot more young people too. I mean, like, even with their parents and stuff. So it's like nice to be able to get like the parents and the kids, like, although sometimes can be weird because like you're questioning them like, oh, do you know this? Like you're asking the kids like, do you know this stuff? And they're like, no. And you're like, well, who was supposed to tell them? Then you just look over at their parent like, that was your job. Like, y'all kind of dropped the ball. Like, why didn't y'all tell them? Picture what? Oh, they're talking about getting like a photo while we're doing outreach, because
We're live on YouTube. A few people watching. He said he wants to do the interview.
oh,
We'll kind of go more one-on-one, so we can start with your interview if you'd like. Yeah.
okay.
All right. Let's see. I'll have you stand right back here. You're comfortable being live on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. And what's your name?
Jack.
My name's Cooper. Nice to meet you. 1 second here. How do you feel about other animals?
Other animals?
Yeah.
I love animals. I have cats.
You have cats?
Yeah.
Spending time with cats and taking care of them, what do you learn about their feelings?
Their feelings?
Yeah. Well, would you say they have personalities?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think that animals like cats, do they have an ability to suffer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's a distinction between, say, a cat and a pig in their ability to suffer and feel pain?
Yeah. I just forget about that.
It's actually like a really serious conversation. So
Yeah. I'm not sure. How are you feeling?
Look, I don't even care about pigs. I like cats more. I like bacon.
All right. We can leave it there. We'll leave it there. To anybody in the chat, please keep leaving some green hearts.
They're sending green.
Excuse me, please.
Oh, sorry.
the pigs, dude. Stop cussing. I'm gonna get my.
To everybody here, thank you for joining the live. We're here in Vancouver, Washington, on the Vancouver Waterfront. We have some trollish teens here. They're to be expected. Yeah, feline feelings are for real. Yeah, they're definitely real. He knows that cats have feelings, but fuck the pigs. Not able to name a difference between, say, a cat and a pig that would justify treating a pig so differently from a cat. So there's a lot of inconsistencies in the worldview, but I didn't feel like engaging further with that group.
Wow.
Somebody says, what about cat bacon, though? Very good question. Would it be fair to chop up a cat for sensory pleasure, for a needless reason, when we didn't need to? Is needless violence against cats okay? Is it acceptable? Should we make space for it within our society? Or is that unjust and unfair? Let us know your thoughts in the chat. Yeah, we'll definitely meet some trolls in person as well as in the chat. That's all right. We just turn the page and keep moving. It's great to have you here, Spooky and Jason. Let's see, Vegan Kaz. Is that how did I say your name right? Vegan Kaz? If so, leave me another message in the chat. It's great to have you here from the UK. Everybody keep double tapping that screen. If you have a favorite vegan chat, please share the live. We're trying to get the YouTube algorithm to know us because this is our very first live stream. But we're trying to raise awareness about what's happening to our animal relatives that we share this planet with. We're asking, is it more ethical to relate to animals as individuals to be respected or as objects to be exploited? What do you think? Somebody says that was odd. Oh, this is Eston. They say we must question these pernicious precepts. Why is a pig inexplicably less important than others? Exactly. What would be the justification for treating a pig so different from a cat? What would justify the difference in treatment? Let us know if you're non-vegan what that difference is so that we can open up this discussion. Sorry, my tongue's a little tied today. Already done some outreach with anti-animal use on the Oregon side in Portland earlier today. I definitely agree it was odd. Everybody keep double tapping that screen. Vegans, I'm going to ask you again to post some green hearts. Feed the algorithm, please. Green hearts for vegans. And for non-vegans, I feel like there's at least one of you in there. Please do post your best argument against veganism and or what is your biggest personal obstacle to going vegan. Paste it in the chat so that we can open up a conversation. Thank you, Savvy Coops. Thank you for feeding the algorithm. Daniel says that's a lot of outreach. Great work. Thank you, Daniel. We missed you out there with anti-animal use, as always, when you're not there.
Yes.
Your presence is always appreciated. It's great to have you in
Crazy
the
that
lives.
we've actually only like met in person a few times.
couple times,
at this
yeah.
point. Like,
But we see you all the
it's been,
time in the
months.
chats.
Yeah, it's been months we've like known each other.
Yeah.
Not very often we see each other.
Let's see. Vegan Kaz says they're on their lunch break. They work nights and they only have half hour. All right. Well, I don't think we're going to be here too much longer. We're just dipping our foot in the water, just getting started.
Cold. Yeah, it was
Sun's
actually,
going
like
down.
I said, I guess Anna was talking to a couple that seemed probably that they would probably be more receptive than those kids, but they wanted to, you know, make a little joke of it and pants each other. It's kind of crazy. Violate the autonomy of their own friends, and it's violate the autonomy of their own friends for some, like, you know, clip. Like, literally, you know, like we only have like 9 viewers right now. It's really not that serious. And why would you do that to somebody you consider your friend? It's kind of crazy. Anyway. Exactly, though. I saw some things Jason said. What about cat bacon, though? Like, yeah, exactly. Like, you're not even thinking about it. You don't even see the point. Yes. I love all of the critters, all of the creatures, from mice, teeny tiny shrimp to, you know, large elephants and all of that. You know, size don't matter. Ugh. Hopefully we can get one more, maybe. It's still gonna be okay. If not, though, I don't really mind. I'm just glad that we came out here and started our first live so that we can get the boat rolling, ball rolling, boat floating, ball rolling, whatever. Haha, seeing passionate vegans reaching other people with a message of animal respect is like a battery recharge for my soul. Believe me, it's one for me too. I don't know. I feel like I was just telling somebody, they were a vegan who came up to us during our anti-animal use portion, like when we were over there, and they were saying that they wanted to join, and that, you know, I was telling them how it can be a really good release for all the things that you need to say, or like, you know, want to say, to all the non-vegans around you, like throughout your week. So then to come and get to do outreach and, you know, be able to speak for the animals as much as you can, in the moment, like, and just free flowing and like literally just speaking as much as you can out for the animals.
Yeah.
It just finally feels good, and it allows you to, I don't know, allows me to deal with my dystopia, for the most part, you know, like, or makes me stronger even in combating non-vegans, through my day-to-day life. Like, you know, when people are like, oh, your food is gross, and I'm like, okay, well, what's in your food? Like, who's in your food? Like, who are you eating? I say I say things like that now because, like, I'm done acting like this is okay, and I'm done tolerating any of it, because, like, if I'm really seeing these animals as kin, like, it is impossible to ignore, you know. Like, I have a family wedding coming up, and I'm extremely nervous about, like, having to be around people who are feasting on the flesh of literal kin. Like, and it's it's for my sister, right? So my sister's wedding, and I'm like, imagine if it was me. Imagine if it was me cut up on these people's dishes, and oh, it's all celebratory, but I'm over there on the plate, like.
Yeah. Jason is curious. Are there other chapters of anti-animal use in other cities?
We actually don't, or I mean,
Yeah.
we're unaware. There
We're
could be
unaware. There
somebody.
could be. We're very supportive of folks opening up their own activist groups, their own activist circles. They can use the name anti-animal use. They can use the formats
Yeah.
we use. Take our ideas and run with them. Please do
Yeah, we
become
must.
active. There's nothing like nothing copyrighted. We don't own anything related to anti-animal use or our strategies or any of it. Just take the strategies, find another passionate vegan in your community who wants to speak up against the injustice towards our fellow earthlings, and just go for it. That's my advice.
Yeah. Yes, AAU is a community page, so it's community driven, community based, and if there's a community somewhere that wants to start an AAU, then they just got to do so. I mean, obviously, like if they ever reached out to like our anti-animal use, like we would always, send over resources and whatever we can, because like, maybe even depending on where they are, like drive over and help do an event with them too, because like the whole goal is just widespread education, right?
Yeah.
Or like
Daniel
widespread.
says, I'm also done pretending it's normal to have
Yes,
body parts.
I did see that.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did? Yeah. Well,
Gotta
said,
be.
Daniel.
Gotta be.
It should not be normal. We should denormalize the idea that the flesh of our animal relatives belongs in fridges rather than on their own living bodies.
Yeah. It's like, sick. Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer did that for sure. And actually justified it, like using the same justifications. It's really odd. It's really odd how we see that, exploitation. The justifications for exploitation in one case seem to be the justifications for exploitation in another case.
Yep.
And they're both bullshit. Wow.
Keep it on top of that screen, everybody. If you have any favorite vegan chats, throw our live in there. We're gonna look to maybe have one more on-camera conversation today before we wrap it up. It's starting to get a little bit colder and darker here in Vancouver, Washington, on the waterfront. But to any of the non-vegans who are here, I feel like there's at least one here. I want to ask you to leave your justification for exploiting other animals in the chat. When we have another choice, what is the justification for the needless violations and violence? Let us know.
Yes, I agree with both of these. Says Spooky says morgues in grocery store is not a good thing. And yes, exactly. It's exactly what it feels like walking through those aisles, or the female reproductive system harm aisle, like just the dairy aisle. And then every choice to not participate in ritualistic, unquestioned animal use is an opportunity to disrupt cultural norms and assumptions.
Yes.
I 100% believe that. It's just.
Rebecca says using animals is normalized oppression. Is that how she puts it? She has a specific tagline. It's really similar to what you said. I'm trying to remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember right now.
Anybody who's here, do follow Rebecca. She is the Uncaged Front on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Please do follow Rebecca.
If you're not already.
Another great activist. She's part of anti-animal use, and we work with her regularly. It's great to have you all here. We're not necessarily here to spar with any non-vegans. So if you're here and feeling a little shy, there's no reason to be. Just go ahead and leave your best argument against veganism in the chat so that Elvin and I can get back to you.
Oh, yes, Rebecca. I hope she's doing well today. Oh, wow.
It's great to have all you vegans here. I know it's not as action-packed as some of our anti-animal use streams where it's troll after troll, and there's like endless non-vegans displaying ignorant arguments for you to respond to. There's a little less action here, but this is just the beginning of Total Liberation now. This is our first live stream, and we are looking forward to making a difference here on the Washington side in Vancouver.
Yeah.
We're trying to change the way that humans are relating to other animals. Is it fair that we currently are relating to our fellow earthlings as objects to be exploited when we could instead respect their bodily autonomy and treat them as individuals who need respect?
moving away from, seeing animals in the wild and being in awe of what species they are, and being more, in shock and in awe of like the fact that they're, existing in this world where the systems of oppression are built to work against the both of us. And so when I see like, a bird flying in the forest, or any being in the forest or anywhere wild, right? I try to not think about the speciesist category that we've placed upon them of, robin or blue jay or
Try to see them
whatever.
as an individual.
Yeah, trying to see them as an individual, as and putting the reason for um my care for them, like, right, or my care to see them is not now like because they're a certain species or they're rare, but more so because that, we're we're being oppressed together, and we're both surviving in spite of that. And I think it's very beautiful, and it's something that people should be able to recognize more often. But this like idea of categorization and I don't know, just
Are you a vegan?
We are vegans, yeah.
making it so everything has a category is
You know how
really harmful.
we're animals, and we're the top of the food chain.
Right. So there's some animals who they'll sometimes go out.
Recognizing that humans are one of many species of animal without devaluing ourselves based on that fact is a route to raising the status of all earthlings. Yes, exactly. I try to get away from human animal like binary language, right? So like honestly, even like in conversations sometimes like I catch myself using it, but it's hard because sometimes it's instrumental to having to explain to somebody, right, like like where somebody is at. They're like having to they separate humans and animals. So the way I'm trying to explain to them, I use that separation up into a certain point, right? And so like I'll try to get to the point where we're talking about how that it's arbitrary and the words don't matter, and all the words point to are the arbitrary traits, or the categories, and the categories themselves are harmful and oppressive. So yeah.
Take advantage of somebody who's weak.
Vegan pancakes, love that. I do love
It's not a
pancakes.
good thing, but
Pancakes or waffles, y'all?
that's what humans
Do you need a syrup pocket with a little crunch, or
But you can also thrive on a plant-only diet. So if we
I hear lions though in the
spare
background.
continue contributing to the animals to chop it up.
Plants look and taste like shit. Plants have steak. You ever had steak?
I
Burger
ate
before?
those, yeah. Do you think the pleasure that
Yeah, somebody said earlier we're changing the world, but we're slowly changing the world, but it is happening. And yes, I believe so as well. I believe that people have
justify to chop them up?
people all around the world are going to go vegan
Is it good?
as time goes by, as they see
I do care about dogs, but that's not
the harms that happen, and how they're all connected to the oppression that they're literally facing. Like, it's not something you can just set aside and say, oh, we'll solve this later. Like, we'll solve animal oppression after human oppression is gone. It's actually impossible to do so without the other. As long as animals are being oppressed, like, we're going to be oppressed too.
You want a card? I can leave it there. So, all right, I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Keep on eating animals.
Goodbye.
Keep on eating animals.
I just wanted to let you know, I think it's terrible that your friends would do something like that to you on live when in front of a bunch of strangers, just to embarrass you for either views or clicks or likes or clout. Like, it's really not even funny, and it's actually embarrassing.
Funny. You know what?
Yeah.
6v1 right now. 6v1. Wait, so who won?
Literal children.
There's some kids here.
No, they want liberation now.
Honestly, I don't even think they should know, because they're just probably trying to fish for the video of them pensing their friend for clout and views.
Honestly, yeah.
I won the debate. Did you win? I won the debate.
It's not a debate.
It was a conversation.
It was a debate. I thought you guys debate.
Where? That's top. Yeah, you have to read them.
Animals or vegetarian?
Animals?
No.
Yeah.
Just like you are.
Yes, humans are animals, yes.
It's a scientific fact.
Humans are animals. We don't eat humans, no.
Is that what that means? Wait.
Cannibals means you eat humans, yeah.
Okay, I am a kid.
I need a dog.
There's some people who are unfortunately
We're just not gonna talk.
undereducated on what it means to be an animal, or they don't even know what cannibal is. They're over
Just
here
like-
trying to tell us to eat animals. Like,
They can't even define.
it's just
the most
children,
basic
so
truths. Yeah.
it's kind
Aw,
of funny.
kids. Let's just talk to the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, slowly but surely.
Yes, thank you to all the vegans who are here. Please keep posting green hearts. It's great to have you here. We're gonna wrap up here. It's getting a little bit colder. The sun's
Yeah, shall
going
we?
down.
We didn't want to talk on camera, but it was a good conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
I'm glad.
Well, because he talked to the Jess lady.
Yeah,
So-
I know. I was expecting. He's actually pescatarian, and I said, "Well, would you be willing to watch a documentary if you found out folks do care about what happens to themselves? Would that change your mind?"
Oh.
And he's like, "Yeah."
He just dropped something.
What?
He dropped something in the grass just now. Okay,
Oh.
he saw it.
You're like, is he literate?
And now he's just gonna stand here trying to get fucking views. Get in the camera.
You guys kind of hurt each other.
I don't just think.
I just don't appreciate it. We don't want to show people that that's okay. That's not fair.
We're not trying to know.
They aren't challenging to fight us. They're challenging to fight each other because I pointed out that it's wrong of his friends to do whatever they did to him. You know, it's like violating his autonomy in front of strangers for clout or views or whatever.
Yes, spooky
something
dude.
funny.
Spam green hearts until we end. It's very soon.
Yeah, if you want, totally.
Yes. Esther
Violent
says
attitudes.
violence. Yes, so go ahead.
Oh, violent attitudes towards other animals beget violent tendencies toward humans. Yeah, exactly. But it's really just some kids around who are trying to get on the camera. It's kind of funny because they don't actually want to talk about a serious conversation or have a conversation about the oppression of other animals, you know? It's kind of sad. Great job on your first live stream. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means a lot. I appreciate y'all, all of you. Have fun at work. Unfortunately, I hate that you have to work. I hate that anybody has to work. No, none of your facts are fun. Oh, I hate children.
Yeah, babies, then they grow up.
I'm wondering if I should just like talk to them until we decide to end it, because like I feel like they're not gonna go away until like we end our live. Oh,
Like, you don't eat meat, right?
wait, I'm seeing. Am I seeing Axel in here? Hi, Axel, if you are in here. I can't see.
Yeah, Axel seems to be here.
Oh, I can't see anything. That's funny. But hi.
We're gonna wrap up here in just a moment. We're just honestly waiting for Anna to
are,
finish
yeah.
a little on-camera conversation or off-camera conversation so that we can conclude things with Anna.
Yeah.
Vegan stoner lady.
Well, we have some people arguing that, you know, we shouldn't treat animals and humans the same. Okay, see, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to entertain them. It's just hard to, because like I can hear them right behind me saying terrible arguments. They're really terrible arguments. It's like, oh, is that you, Axel, my guy? Did you change your user? Oh, now they're arguing about mosquitoes. It's like, really? Like, do you even care about the conversation? Bringing up mosquitoes, and they don't even understand what veganism is. They're just arguing against it. So it's kind of sad when people don't want to listen or, you know, learn. Actually, they just want to state what they know. I forget what type of like cognitive thing that is. Like, the more uneducated that somebody is on something, they want to like, they speak more confidently on it. It's kind of like ridiculous. Oh, I see a nice, pretty bird flying high right now. Yeah, Anna's right now. She's explaining them what has to happen to cows for dairy. You know, like we are right next to the ice cream shop, so it's pretty relevant to talk about, you know, what's happening in, you know, the dairy industry. You know, how you get that ice cream, how they're artificially inseminated, and, you know, basically great for all that. You know. So yeah. Oof.
I mean, they cracked the chicken too. Ever cracked a chicken?
They're literally just turning it into a joke. Like, if y'all think it's literally a joke, that animal oppression. No, I think y'all are being. You're asking. You're saying crack. Like, I know crack is a joke. Like, you know, she got cracked at the party. She got cracked at the club.
No one was really talking about that.
Okay, but you're laughing though, and it's actually just like.
Laughing?
Yeah, laughing about a serious problem.
Serious.
Light of violence isn't. No,
Exactly. So why
we're
would
not
you
talking.
know?
I'm done.
Right. So like, you okay, thank you. You have a nice day.
Thank you.
Please respect each other. Don't pull each other's pants.
Bye. I'll do it right now.
I mean, if they're consenting, that's one thing.
I don't care. They're my
Well,
Have a good day.
yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that's what
I don't like children. I don't like
I
teens.
was trying.
I failed. I entertained them just a little bit. Did you see that? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Spooky. I tried. I tried. Like, I was just like, when I hear them laughing, like, and they're trying to play in Anna's face, like she don't know like teen terms or something. Like, ugh. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. No, you're good.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
Yeah, feeling the
They just get annoying. They get annoying. Okay. Anyway, yes, teens be silly.
A lot of the side topics that you're able to hear.
Oh, I was just tuning them.
Yeah, I'm glad. Good for you.
We watch together. I want to do it. I want to fuck it.
Yeah,
was
like
talking-
literally talking about exactly. They were talking about how, ooh, I want to watch when Anna was explaining how they grape the cows, and then so I'm just like, are you actually joking? Like, I literally just had to turn around and be like, this is actually a serious topic. Like, animal liberation is not something to be played about. Like, don't come in here and play in our face and trying to be like, you know, teaching us something, or like, you know, steak good AF. Like, you're literally a nobody right now. Like, you matter nothing to me because you won't even see, you won't even treat this seriously. And yet, like, exactly, like Spooky says, I was a teen and dumb.
Yeah.
And like, so was I, right? But like, I wasn't laughing in the faces of people who are trying to explain like grape to us. So like, it just confuses me sometimes. I'm like, y'all are literally
That could be a
just like beyond beyond my help right now. Like, please, at least like what I can handle, like my capacities at this moment is not built for you. So I need you to like have a conversation with somebody else, like
if you're
Anna, or just take a card and go research this on your own before you can like chit chat with whoever and argue with whoever online instead, because like I don't need people laughing in my face about grape and whatever. Yeah. Yes. And yeah, always bringing it back to how animals are their own for themselves.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, you do it. Yeah. Yeah.
We're on YouTube.
Here, I'll give you guys
We have a small audience, so it's not like
Nothing too big. No big pressure.
about like that.
Are you comfortable being live on YouTube?
Yeah, I've
All
never been
right.
live on YouTube before. But
You don't stand
You
in
come
together.
just like a tiny step closer. Yeah, that should be funny close. That should be good.
Okay.
So we're talking to people about animals. How do you feel? How do you feel about animals?
I love animals.
Yeah, I love animals.
I think they should be appreciated more.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Have you spent much time with dogs or cats in your life?
Yeah, I have a couple cats at home and I love them so much. But I'm not home a lot, so I don't get to spend a lot of time with them. But I love cats. I'm more of a cat person than a dog person for
Yeah,
sure.
I have 2 dogs, so I'm more of a dog person. But
Like, with your time with the dogs and your time taking care of your cats, what does it teach you about the feelings that cats and dogs have?
my dog's really awkward, so I don't know.
Kind of a
It
silly-
can be a little awkward sometimes. where it's like,
A silly
I don't
guy.
I don't really know what to do with you, but
Yeah, I don't really know how to answer that. I feel like it shows that love is shown through actions instead of not only just words,
Mm.
because I feel like my cats kind of show me that they love me just by, choosing to come to me rather than my
Right.
sister, and like,
They can't meow, I love you.
Yeah,
But they
yeah,
show you
yes,
that they
exactly.
care about you.
yeah,
Yeah.
their eyes too. I noticed something with the eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think there's a difference between, say, a cat or a dog and a pig or a cow in their ability to have feelings and to suffer?
no.
No?
No.
No.
I don't think
I've never had a pet pig or
Yeah, I've
spent
never-
time around that.
yeah, so I wouldn't really know.
Yeah, I've never
but-
met a pig before.
You're
so
not,
it's kind
you're
of
not for sure, but you imagine that they,
Yeah,
they have
probably,
feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think there's anything, like, as humans who live in 2026, do you think there's anything we need from animals for entertainment or food or clothing? Or do you think we have alternatives here in 2026?
Um,
Ooh.
I mean, probably. I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
but I would say so. Probably.
Yeah, I think we do for sure. Well, what do you mean by alternatives?
Like, I'm thinking about if we can put a camera into the water and take photos of the fish there rather than put them in an aquarium tank.
Yeah.
I think that's a more fair choice for the fish.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I cannot go to zoos anymore because going there
Yeah.
it like breaks my
I
heart.
know,
I went there because I thought
So sad.
it was
It
gonna be
is.
fun, and then I went there. I was like, I'm never coming here
Yeah,
again. Like, this is
Right.
it's not a good
Right.
experience.
If we
at
can
all.
choose to like watch that nature documentary on the lion
Yeah.
rather than contribute to them being kept in this little cage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it seems more fair, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, within the realm of food, do you think when we walk into a grocery store, do we have a similar alternative? Could we choose to opt out of using animals for food in 2026?
I think it depends on the circumstances, because I know some people definitely rely on like some nutrients from some foods.
Mm.
But I think if we can make the option to, not do the wrong or to do the right thing, then yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends. Like, I feel like for certain things, like I don't know, like meats and stuff in that sense of food, like I feel like some animals were kind of here for us to fuel us. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of how it's been.
We've used
since-
them for that purpose for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
Do you think as we develop an alternative and if we have another way to go about things, do you think it's more fair from, say, the pig's perspective to choose the plant product rather than maybe the bacon product that causes the pig to be exploited and used and killed? Do you think from their perspective it would be more fair to choose the plant option?
I mean, probably.
Probably
if I
not
was
fair.
if I was in front of the pig, I would feel a little bit guilty picking
Yeah.
bacon over
Right.
that's
Right.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if we had to witness like some footage of what the pig at the farm and maybe the pig at the slaughterhouse each
Yeah.
time that we wanted to consume those products. Do you think it would deter us as a people?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely make me uncomfortable knowing, like, watching firsthand.
and it would be in the back of my mind every time I buy like a product,
Yeah.
so of the sort. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Have you heard of the concept of veganism? And if so, like, I wonder, what does it mean to you or what have you heard about it?
My sister went vegan for a while. I don't really know why. I think it's because it was for like a health reason. So she was doing pretty good at it. So I don't know. That's what I think about my sister. So
Yeah, I don't really know much about it. I figured it was kind of for health reasons. I don't know. I remember people that are more uncomfortable. I know I had a friend that he watched a documentary about like animals, watching them get slaughtered and stuff, and then he had to go vegan after that because he couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people who come onto the plant-only diet because they're trying to improve their health. That's
Mhm.
absolutely true. Here we're defining it a little bit precisely as a principle against using other animals if we have the option. Like plop me in the middle of the woods, it's like, uh-oh, what am I gonna do? But if I live here in Vancouver or the surrounding area and I shop at a grocery store, we're asking, could it be justified for another animal to enter a slaughterhouse for us if we don't need to, if we could pick something else up? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, I guess that is true. I think that a lot of people, I mean, that's just how it's always been,
Yeah,
like
it's a habit.
and I think a lot of people aren't gonna take the time to like realize it, I mean, it's just how it's always been. So I feel like it's,
yeah.
it's kind of hard to try to change that when
Yeah.
it's kind of out.
I agree with you that makes it harder if it's happened a long time. But in your head, when you consider, do you think like the longevity of an action, does it make it more acceptable or fair if something's happened for a long time? Does that make it more fair?
No, I don't think so. I think it's
just more normalized.
Just-
Just
yeah.
everyone does it.
It's just a habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just went there and ate a burger, so like I don't know. I'm
Right.
a little guilty right here.
You don't really think about it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So
I wonder if you personally witnessed some of the practices that happen in farms and in slaughterhouses. I wonder, do you think where would it leave you? Where do you imagine it would leave you?
I mean, I'd probably feel bad, but I don't think it's gonna change
Hmm.
my diet.
yeah.
Right.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, it would just be in the back of my mind. I think eventually I would maybe like start trying to lean off the meat or whatever it is, but I don't know what could happen for me to change
Yeah.
not eating meat.
One thing that I like to think about with like the framework of reducing is it makes a big difference. Let's say you were eating maybe 5 or 10 birds last month, or let's say 10 to be specific. And then the next month you eat 5 birds. To the 5 that you didn't eat because you went from 10 to 5, it makes a big difference for them. But I wonder in your head when you think about the remaining 5 birds who you still eat, if you had another option, do you think it could be fair for those birds to be used and killed for you?
I think it depends on what the other option is. I feel like in the long run, like, is it healthier to pick something? I feel like it's like, am I picking something that's more like, I don't know, created in the lab, or am I eating something that's like from the farm? You
Right.
know,
I
it
wonder
depends.
if you found options that were like whole foods, plant-based, that weren't necessarily like mock meats, but they were more
Yeah.
so like beans, rice, potatoes, lentils, other legumes, some grains, breads, pastas. If you figured out that there was a way to sustain yourself on those foods and not contribute to birds being used, do you think that would be more fair?
I think it'd be more fair, but I think me stopping doesn't change anything else that's going on in the world.
Right. It's a
So
big system.
it's
I
it's
hear
a
what you're
huge
saying.
thing. So I feel like the 5 less birds that I eat is not really gonna change anything compared to the whole world.
Right.
Yeah.
There's so many people walking by, and most all of us are contributing to this problem. So it is really big. There's a lot of individual birds who are being killed. But I wonder, do you think it makes a difference to each one of them when they aren't killed, when they aren't used for us? Do you think it makes a difference to each individual bird? Like, for instance, if I was at maybe a dog meat market and I went and I said, I'm going to go take one of these dogs and bring them home. Do you think it would make a difference to that individual dog that they weren't used and killed?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if
It
you
wouldn't make a difference?
Well, no, as like, if you just take that one dog when all those other thousands of dogs are being killed, I don't think you're really like helping much.
Right.
But I think it.
Do
I
you
mean,
think
you
it helps that
are
one dog? Do
it
you think
helps
it
that
matters to
one
them?
to that one dog.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
but I mean, if you're not the one to get that dog, somebody else is. Like, if you're not the one to go, like let's say I'm not gonna go buy I'm not gonna go eat chicken, and then I'm like thinking that I saved these 5 chickens or whatever. Somebody else already ate those 5 chickens, so it's like I don't think it like.
Well, their consumption is like going to be what their consumption is, and your contribution is what your contribution is.
And I
And
feel
like we can't control everybody around here, but
Mhm.
we can control how we relate to other animals, and we
Yeah.
can decide if we want to relate to them as resources to use or as individuals to respect. Because like I hear that you respect your cats and your dogs so much. Like I wonder, do you think it's possible for us to respect animals as individuals if we're treating them as these resources to be used? Do you think it's possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
What would it look like to you?
respecting the animals, like,
How would it be possible to respect them while also using them as a resource?
well, for me, I see it as, I don't know, I believe in God, and I mean, I pray before each meal, and I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know, honoring it in that way. Like, I mean, that was provided to me to fuel my body.
Right.
Mhm.
Do you think it lessens the suffering of, say, like the pig or the cow when you pray over their body?
No, but
It's
I
what
don't
you
know.
believe in. So I mean,
Well, I don't think it like lessens the suffering, but I don't know.
it's like showing your thankfulness that you're even
Do you
allowed
think
to
it makes
have
a
that on your
difference
table.
to the cow if we kill them and don't pray, or if we kill them and pray afterwards? Do you think from their perspective, I'm not sure how your Christianity works, but most Christians, I don't think, believe cows go to heaven. So like this is their one life here. Do you think it's justified to take it from them if we don't need to?
I don't know. I think that, I mean, although it is sad, like having to, like, I mean, if you're gonna watch that kind of stuff of like watching what happens to the animals, like before you eat them, like I think that is really sad. But
Do you think it's important to become aware and be an informed consumer on those practices?
I think that it is important to be
Yeah,
aware.
I think it is.
So then you can make that decision yourself. You can say,
Exactly. And it's
you
not.
can watch it and say, did I like it? Do I want to be
Yeah.
part of it
And
or
it's-
no?
I feel like it's
Yeah.
a lot harder to just like cold turkey, just stop doing it. I mean, I think it's the process of like knowing that it's bad and then taking it into consideration and maybe eventually one day stopping eating meat.
Yeah.
And I think that's all part of the process. So.
I'm wondering, I'm going to ask one more question and then I'm going to give you a resource card if you're open to that.
Okay.
When you think about your own ethical system, how many animals would you prefer enter a slaughterhouse for you in the future?
Um,
Probably one.
Just one?
Yeah, fishes.
Well, I mean, like, how many individual animals?
Oh, like
How many would you prefer are used for you?
I mean,
It's hard.
I don't know. I also think that like the system in which we kill animals is terrible. Like I have seen a video of the way that we milk cows and everything. I think the system
Kill
is.
pigs.
I think the
That's
system is terrible. Like there is a way better way to do that, and I think that they are making it.
I agree with you that there could be like a better way to have this system where the animals are a lot happier and they might not be suffering as much.
Yeah.
I wonder if you had to pick between three choices, an animal being happy and then we kill them, or an animal suffering really bad and then we kill them, or we just don't use and kill them at all. What do you think is best for the animal?
I mean, obviously to not kill them. I just don't think that would ever happen because of the world we live in. So
Because a lot of other people
Yeah.
exactly.
contribute. Do you think that because a lot of other people in the world contribute to something that is an injustice or something that's causing harm or suffering to our fellow earthlings, do you think that just because everybody's doing it, that you and I should be part of it? Or do you think that we
No.
should stand against?
No, I think that it definitely just depends on like. I don't know. I think everybody's different. I mean, if you think that that it's wrong that you shouldn't be eating meat, then you can do that. But I mean, I think that it is good to be aware about it, and I don't know. It's just how I feel is like I can't do anything about the way that they're suffering, but I don't agree with it.
You could boycott it. You could say, I wouldn't do this to my dog at home. I wouldn't pay for them to be used or
Yeah.
killed. So I'm just not going to participate. I wonder what would stop you from saying, I have that option. I know animals suffer. I know I have another option. Why not just dive in? What would stop you, do you think?
Probably the taste. I mean, it's pretty good. I like chicken. I like
Right.
beef. I love.
You're used to
I
that
like my
taste, yeah.
protein.
Maybe I mean that's uncomfortable for me to do that. I like to stay comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying
When you weigh it up, and this is a challenging question, and you're thinking about your comfortability and then other animals being killed on the other side, what do you think we should value higher? Like staying comfortable in our habits, or maybe being a little bit uncomfortable but changing in order to make the world more just for all of us?
I mean, obviously, caring about the injustice with the animals.
Yeah.
But that's also why I kind of it's kind of messed up, but I kind of tune out what's going on around me just because I know it will stress me out. And it's just like,
Sometimes you got to put yourself first.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think that's
Do you
what.
think
It is-
when we close our eyes to what's happening to them, do you think it changes
no,
what's happening?
no, it definitely doesn't. And that's something that like I know is wrong and I do it because
Everyone else does.
yeah, no, it's selfish. It is selfish.
Right.
But it's
But
just,
we also live in a society of like, where there's a lot of like, I don't know, men who are sexist, for instance, and like, I'm trying to call out everybody. I'm like, I don't want to be part of it. So
yeah.
I wonder, in other injustices, do you usually kind of just go with the flow, or do you kind of stand against the grain and try to stand up for your principles?
If it's in front of my eyes and like there's something in that moment where I know I can like say something, then yes, I will. But I just like I don't know. I wouldn't
So you
go
do
out of
stand
my-
for justice.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you think it would be more in alignment to stand with justice if we started living a vegan ethic in Vancouver? Would that be more in alignment with justice for everybody, do you think?
Again, it depends. I think also a lot of people's body relies on like the iron and nutrients in some meat and stuff. Because I know my sister has lupus, and there's a lot of things that she relies on when it comes to like proteins and stuff. So I don't know. I think it just depends on the person's
There
circumstance.
could be some unique hardships that somebody faces to their health challenges. I
Yeah.
wonder, like, let's say if you found out, it was flashing across your news screen and it said, the human body can get all it needs to thrive just from plants. Would it be fair for us to continue putting animals in this position if we didn't need to?
No, I wouldn't. I don't think it would be fair because I mean, if we can do the right thing, then obviously do the right thing. But
I really appreciate both of your time.
Mhm.
This is just supposed to like open up reflection. I hope I haven't pushed you too hard. I'm not trying to argue.
okay. I'm just like
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah, it's just I don't know a lot about it, so it's like kind of hard to respond.
Yeah.
And it's not something we think about often. So it's like the wheels are turning. Like I appreciate you being curious and open-minded. I want to thank both of you for that. This is our website here, antianimaluse.org, and it does have a documentary that does show the practices within the farms and the slaughterhouses if you want to become that informed consumer. It sounded like something you were both interested in, being an informed consumer. So and it has some other resources on there too, like recipes and things like that. So if you're like, practically, what do? I kind of I'm agreeing with the principle, but I don't know what to do with it. It also has those resources too. And can I leave one with you?
Yeah, of course. All right.
I really appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Where can I find you guys on YouTube? Is it on here?
Yeah, it's anti-animal use. Just
Total liberation.
oh yeah, well we're giving out it's a little bit unique. We have 2 groups, and we're just starting with another group today, but you can find our resources there on that card. And this, oh, we have other people who are interested. Anyway, I want to thank you all for your time, and
Thank you.
thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
You're gonna have maybe another conversation.
Awesome.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We don't bite.
No, we don't. We don't at all. We don't bite at all. Okay. It might take a second for us to come in. Wait, will you check? Will you check the? Okay, we'll pop in here. Okay, we're kind of in. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let's come in. I'll set this way. Maybe if you guys are there, but that's okay if you don't want to be on it too.
You have to see.
Your emotional support friend. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So my name's Elvin. What's
Hi,
your
Elvin. My name is Caitlin.
And you can share if you want.
Becca.
Caitlin and Becca. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So like I said today, we ask questions, weighing, or testing people's moral consistency, right? As well as power, oppression, and how they're interconnected. Can I ask you what comes to mind when you think about oppression or abuses of power? Anything that maybe like something relevant now that comes to mind, or something you faced in the past, maybe that makes you think.
I think of like oppression as a group who fundamentally has less footing or foundation
Mhm.
in the world versus somebody who may have a better foundation, whether that's by birthright or by what they've been given or handed to them. I kind of
Some arbitrary
yeah,
trait.
yeah.
And so so it's like oppression is like prolonged cruel treatment, and then like you have exploitation, which is like unfair use at the benefit of like of like yourself, or basically inherently ignoring the benefits or interests of somebody else.
I feel like exploitation also like comes with the acknowledgement of like I'm an oppressor and I am
Mhm.
using the oppressed.
Yeah. Right. And so actually in a lot of the cases we see, exploitation is very noticeable. Like we know what's happening. But there are also cases, or would you agree, that of exploitation that go unseen or unnoticed, or sometimes people don't know they're being exploited.
100%.
Would you still say that's exploitation even then?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Okay. So I'm glad we agree. What we are going to, I'm going to switch the topic a little bit now, but they'll come together in the end
Okay.
if you stay with me. It's a lot to kind of talk about, but so we have, the word animal. What comes to your mind when you hear the word animal?
I mean, I think of like a creature
Mhm.
that isn't human.
Okay. And then what about you?
I think of my dog.
Your dog? That's good. That's perfect. I mean, like,
An animal.
yeah. Are you aware that humans are animals?
Yes, we're
Yeah.
mammals.
Yes.
I
Right.
think that there's a fundamental difference between humans and animals in that while we are both mammals,
Mhm.
that there is some element of like spiritual or soul that humans are able to possess in which animals don't or can't.
Okay. Yeah. I get that too. I definitely heard that before. Like the soul aspect. How I see it is like that humans, they kind of have this ability, or more with that comes more responsibility, right?
Yeah.
To do better, and maybe help other animals who don't have
Yeah.
that.
I
we
think
kind
that's
of
a
end up-
difference between instinct and morality.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
That's the key difference between humans and animals.
Yeah. And would you say that difference would justify any type of harm towards them, or lack of consideration? Like, would you say because of that instinct versus like they don't have like our
No,
terms
if
of
anything,
morality?
that means that we have more responsibility.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
We have the moral responsibility.
I agree. I agree 100%. Okay. So I want to ask, have you ever heard of veganism at all?
like eating not non-animals, only plants.
Yeah, is it like, what would you say is like the definition? Like, if you've, I don't know if you've ever heard the actual definition, but a lot of people have some
no
like,
animal products.
Yeah.
Don't consume animal products.
okay,
Mhm,
perfect.
right?
Yeah, well, that's so that is just actually like a consequence of veganism. Veganism is commonly misrepresented as a diet, whereas we can actually kind of break it apart and see that it can't just be the diet, because vegans also don't go to zoos and they like don't support rodeos, right?
Yeah.
So veganism is actually going to be the ethical stance against the exploitation of all sentient beings. The evolution, or the definition's kind of evolving right now, because the original definition, people, and I try not to get stuck on original definitions,
Yeah.
because it just shows that, like, we're kind of trying to be stuck in ways or whatever, and movements, social justice movements, are obviously always changing and evolving, because as people, like, that's all we do. Or what that we should be striving to do. So the original definition by Leslie Cross is going to say that, no animal right exists for the use of humans. And that's just to say that in and of themselves, they exist for themselves, right? And that's totally, like, I agree with that. Although I take it even further to say, like, no sentient being, we're against the exploitation of all sentient beings, because even if it were like animals exploiting other animals, like, say, like, I say we are animals, but then I'm just using it to like talk about, like, maybe wild
Yeah, I was
animals.
gonna say, like, there's a lot of wild animals that eat
Yeah,
other
exactly.
living things.
And so, like,
And that's
we can
part
see
of
that
the
as,
circle of life.
yeah, like, and they're in a necessity situation, right? And so we're still against that, right? We wish that they didn't have to do that.
But do you think that comes from a necessity situation, or that's just how they were, like, designed, and that's like she said, kind of the circle of life where
Well, yeah, I mean, I
other
think
animals were
it's kind of both,
created
yeah.
to, yeah.
Well, because like humans, right? Like, there was a point in time where we were getting predated upon, because, and we were having to survive in that type of situation. And we view it as like a really good thing now that we're not in that. And so, like you said, like, we have more responsibility. Like, I would believe it's our responsibility to maybe help other animals escape that world too, that we can, maybe without having them have to depend on us like cats and dogs, typically do, because, like, they literally, it's in my mind, it's like more, it's still unfair for cats and dogs that they have to, like, really rely on us to feed them. Like, they don't get a choice of, like,
Yeah.
what they eat, or where they go, or if they can go outside because they don't have the shot or not, or whatever. And so they've been kind of like domesticated in that way, and so we take care of them. But I guess, like, the goal would just to be like awarding them the lives that they're supposed to be able to live, right? And so I guess I just want to ask, like, knowing now that veganism is not just a diet, right? Because you have vegetarianism, right? Just no animal byproducts, or no meat, right?
Yeah.
And then you have carnivore, which is like they only eat meat for some reason. I don't really see the benefits of that, but and then they have the, like, flexitarian, or they have a plant-based diet. And so, like, a plant-based diet is just a consequence of what veganism can entail, because you're trying to exit the exploitation. Are you aware of any of, like, the exploitation that goes on currently, like with
Animals.
animal agriculture, the zoos and stuff like that?
Yeah. I think, I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes it is hard, like, going to a zoo, even with my kids, like, from a learning and educational standpoint. Obviously, there are parts that are great because they're able to learn
Yeah.
about things in the wild. But at the same time, I look at a lot of, like, the animals, and they're just, like, pacing back and forth in their cages.
Yeah, zoochosis and
And it's, like, I prefer to be able to take them somewhere like the San Diego Wild Animal Park, where
yeah,
there's a little bit more of, like,
exactly.
what it is in nature, and they have, that fundamental, like, freedom of what
Yeah.
to live how they would in the wild. The difference being, obviously, like, they're not all let out with each other, and the lions aren't eating the zebras,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I also don't want my kids watching that in real time, but yeah.
Yeah. I I appreciate that, because it's not often that people, like, really even recognize that, captivity in general is bad, right? But we know that there is some value to being able to observe these beings and learn from them, and maybe see how we can take care of them better, even by just observing them, in their natural habitat.
And I think that that's like one of the big things that I've attempted to encourage and create in our family. I try to take our kids around the world. We do dives, we do snorkeling,
Nice.
and I think it's important for our kids, not just with not just animals, but like other cultures and
Yeah.
other countries. Like, how do other people live differently? How do they learn differently? Their habitats or their all of those things I think are really important.
Exactly. Because like meeting the world with curiosity is truly just like a biggest sign of intelligence, I feel. And it helps us learn and grow and like educate ourselves even more. So I guess I want to ask, is there anything that you think would be stopping you from going vegan? And again, I just want to restate, like, it's really not the plant-based diet part. That part comes after.
Yeah.
It's just that mental switch of like seeing animals as individuals who are here for themselves, and maybe trying to just do your best to afford them that right in every day, and being conscious of it. Like, is there anything that maybe is an obstacle you see, or maybe you feel like maybe hard about that?
I mean, I think that there's a catch-22. Like, it's difficult because I believe that with the moral responsibility of how we were created in being able to care for the earth and care for the creatures in it, just like how the structure of the circle of life is, I feel like we're an integral part of that if you just put us in the box of animals with other animals.
Mhm.
I feel like there are systems in place that have been there since the beginning of time, and whether that's a lion eating a zebra or whether that's me eating chicken, I think that those systems have been there forever. And while we can respect and honor those animals by not wasting or being kind to them, doing free range when it comes to eggs or chicken, making sure that your choices as far as meat are morally okay and not an exploitive process. I think that that is very important, but I also see us living within that structure of how things have been.
Yeah, I get that too. I think one of the things that it brings me to is other cultural norms, right? That we've like curated as a society, that we did for a really long time, but we're still not moral, or like we saw that weren't moral, but maybe like just there wasn't enough people who were able to speak up about the issue, or to make that change. Social justice movements, they take, I think it's like 3 or 4% of people, until like you just see like a exponential ramp up, like with slavery. People would say the same thing. They would say, like, we've done this for so long, this is the way it's been. I guess the question we ask is, like, should we be accepting that? Like, um should we allow that to stop us from curating a different world? As well as when we look at indigenous peoples, right? So like, my partner, like, that's people indigenous to this continent. I'm indigenous to like Polynesia, so like the islands. And what we've seen with our cultures, that when we look back far enough, we can see that they actually had lots of like plant-based foodways, and things like that weren't monoculture farming. It was like polyculture and food forests. And the part of like respecting the animal and using all of them came from the idea that we were all put here, and we don't none of us own each other, right? It was before land became property, and like capital became super important. So we were just, we would take lives when we had to, and then out of the respect for that life, we would then use
Exactly. Yeah.
every piece of them to try to honor that. What we're saying now is that the world has evolved to such a different point in time where we are out of that state of predation now, and we can safely say that for a lot of us. Unfortunately, there are still people who live in that sense of survival, and we're even saying, like, they can still be vegan. They just have to, as long as they're acknowledging, what they're doing and the severity of the actions they're having to take to sustain themselves, then they're still vegan. They just are unfortunately not able to live on a 100% plant-based diet. And that's why I feel like the distinction is super important when we talk about veganism versus a plant-based diet, because it becomes a barrier. People think that just because they can't eat 100% plant-based, or because they did go to their dietitian and their dietitian said, like, you actually should probably be using this or whatever, that they can't still change their mindset. but it's
Can
just
I ask you what you believe sets an animal apart from a plant, since they're both living creatures?
I would say it's the central nervous system. So right, like when we step on grass, like we know that they don't feel okay. So let me put it in a situation like if a pig or a fish or a cow runs into an obstacle, right, that's keeping them from, from thriving in life, we notice that the same as us, in same ways as us, that they avoid that harm or they'll try to like solve a way around that harm. Like fish, they unfortunately we're testing on animals, and animal testing is a whole nother like nuanced, unfortunate thing. But they had actually seen that, when they had like one tank with irritant in it and one tank without it, and it had an antidote. And so like what we found was that even if there was more food in the irritant tank, they would always or they would swim to the irritant tank and then swim to the tank with the antidote to cool their systems down. And so what I mean by that is plants can't make preferences, like if this plant is
To negative feedback.
oh yes. And
I mean, we can see a vine work its way around an obstacle. And
Yes.
we also know that there are studies where if you take two plants that are exactly the same plant and you speak positively
Mhm.
to that plant and then you speak negatively to a different plant,
Yes.
the same exact plants will grow differently.
Mhm.
So there's definitely like, I see it as like, obviously, like I see animals having things that plants don't, but I also see humans having things that animals don't. And we
Mhm.
are in this integral system of, and I don't want to say like, I don't even call it levels because we're all on the same playing field. We each
Mhm.
have a role. It's like the human body. Not one sense is more important than another,
Mhm.
but we each have a role in an ecosystem. And I
Mhm.
think that it is just as important to realize your role and where you're at in that as it is to respect the other roles. If that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yes, I agree with that too. I want to say like I guess I'm meaning like the immediate ability in that aspect, right? Because like say if I walk up to a vine with a knife, and I'm going to cut the vine, it's not necessarily like writhing in pain or like trying to scream and get
So if
away
a
from
human
me.
is slower to respond, are they less human than a human who's quicker to respond?
No, but
The speed and
exactly
efficiency, what rates life?
no, and that's exactly actually what the point I'm trying to make as well for the animals, right? People will typically say like since animals can't think at the same rate cognitively, or people say that since pigs can't read, like they shouldn't deserve rights. And so I say, well, what do you say to about humans then who can't read or whatever? Like, do they not deserve the same rights? And I think for me, it's all about affording that moral consideration where it matters. At least like at a base level, like we know these beings feel pain. What can we do to stop that? Because we know that we wouldn't want that to happen to us. And do want to say like even in the instance of like if we are taking plant feelings into account, and trying to reduce the harm on plant life as well, a plant-based diet would still be the best way to go about that because right now like the animals we breed and grow for food, like they have to eat plants too, like they're on plant-based diets, so we're growing food for them and for us to sustain our diets and theirs, just to get because like the trophic pyramid, like we only get 10% of the nutrients out of the animals that eat all of those plants. And so instead of just growing them and using all this farmland for food, we found that we could probably reduce our land use by 78%, just for food. And then like all of that land would be open up for sanctuaries and rewilding habitats and stuff like that. And at the same time, that plant harm would go down as well significantly because we're growing less plants, we're eating less plants. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Any other further thoughts?
No, I think you said made all the points.
No points. Okay.
Okay. Would you be interested in a card with some resources on it? It just one side shows
Yeah.
one side shows the Dominion, which is, do you want one too? I don't know.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Thanks. I'll try.
One part shows it's a Dominion. It's called Dominion. It's a documentary that shows just standard practice that happens. It's just the basic stuff of what needs to happen for animal agriculture to thrive. Unfortunately, it is pretty sad. But it just goes through each animal. Because I only recommend you to watch it if you just continue, or if you plan to continue to use any animals, just because it helps. Just stay informed as a consumer, and that's
Yeah.
about it. And then the other side is a bunch of resources on like, you could even ask questions about veganism, or how it came to be, or indigenous aspects on veganism,
Yeah.
or spiritual aspects of it as well. Like if you ever interested, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was
Thanks for a good moral
Caitlin?
conversation. Caitlin.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Okay. Oh, how's everybody doing up in here? We're still out here. Surprisingly, they're having some off-camera conversations right now too. So I think we'll be here for a moment longer. Even I don't know. I know we were literally looking to leave, and then but those two call themselves empaths. I mean, maybe a lot of people tend to think they feel a lot more than they are currently feeling. I feel like it's just kind of like sometimes inherent. It just feels like, you can feel like, oh, perfect. Yep, we're gonna have more.
In the background, be my entourage.
All right, come right about here and remind me, what did you say last?
What did I say? Well, guys, what did I say last?
Where did we leave off?
Where did we leave off? I was privileged. It was privileged to
right.
assume that,
Because there's some people who may not have access to an alternative.
and also like just globally, even if a privileged part of the population stops eating animals, that in a way makes it expensive for everyone else.
What makes
Like,
you think it's privileged to stop eating animals?
because not everyone has that opportunity. Like, so not everyone has the option. Like, people eat what is available to them. Like, diets aren't just built on, like, my uncle, God bless his soul, he died, but he wrote a book on the history of Arab cuisine. But like, it's like what we eat isn't just like what we feel like eating. Like, people eat, these diets that are these regional cultures, they eat what they eat because this is what's available to them around them. Like, they don't have the same stuff that they cook in like Vietnam as they do in like France, and that's why we eat different things.
I wonder, like, do you think people who do have access to an alternative that doesn't cause an animal to be used and killed, do you think that those of us who have that option, should we exercise our choice not to exploit our other animals if we have that option? Because I agree with you that we can't really impose something on somebody who doesn't have an option. But if we have the choice and we can choose not to use them, do you think it's more fair?
Well, even if we choose that, you are like sacrificing the money. Like, it is objectively more expensive to willingly forego this thing that is already available to you.
What do you mean?
And so,
Do you
like,
think a plant-only diet would be more expensive than an omnivore one? Is that what you're getting at?
I'm saying like maybe some people want like the taste of meat or the texture and stuff like that, and like lab-grown meat is like, that's objectively
When
more.
we're talking about affordability, I want to ask, do you think it's more affordable to have a plant-only diet or an omnivore diet?
I think it's probably more affordable to eat whatever's available, and that would be like an omnivore diet. And I'm assuming
So
you might be about
Oxford,
to cite me something.
I am. Oxford University did conduct a study, and for people like us who live in Vancouver and Portland, it's up to 30% more affordable. Oh, well, I'm just like talking about anybody who has access to a grocery store, really. Do you shop at a grocery store?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so anybody who shops at grocery stores can save about 30% on their bill if they swap the animal foods for foods like beans, rice, potatoes, legumes, pasta, bread, beans. I mean, there's a lot of vegetables, local fruit, veg, berries. So if you could save money and it was not the privileged position to consume plants and it would spare animals from being used on your behalf, do you think it would be more fair to leave the animals be and consume the plants?
Well, I don't think the same standard of morality applies to both, like animals and humans. What are you guys doing? Stop. But I don't think the same. Like, I don't think we have to provide animals the same rights as humans have. The same way, like, not robots.
Right. So like we wouldn't give like the cow a little bit loud. We wouldn't give the cow an option to drive because they're not interested in that.
Yeah.
But do you think we should grant cows a basic right not to be used and killed when we don't need to use and kill them? What do you think?
I think that animals were there. It's a natural part of nature, and well, I have a religious perspective and I have scientific. Religiously, I think God put things here for us to eat, but I don't expect that logic to work with everyone that doesn't share my religion. So I'm not gonna like. But like also, I
Does your
think
religion require you to consume animals?
it does not.
Right. So it's a choice for you, just like everybody
Yeah.
else. I'm asking,
But I also
why would
like
we
God
choose?
put those animals here for me to eat, and also scientifically, like it's completely natural for a
Right.
carnivore or an omnivore or a
There's
predator.
yeah, there's also instances like with big cats, like carnivores, they might kill their babies to eat them in the wild. It's a quite natural process for them, but we wouldn't mimic it just because it's natural. So do you think it's fair for us to only copy the action that other animals do when it's killing and not copy any other actions?
I don't think we have to copy animals. I think we're copying ourselves. We humans have been eating animals since we were, I don't know, first evolved.
Right. Do you think doing something for a long time, does it make it more acceptable today?
I think something that was developed like before, just like, that's just a natural part of our diet. We've been eating that forever. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Do you think because we've done it a long time, does that make it more acceptable from the animal's perspective?
I'm not really concerned with the animal's perspective that much. I think I'm concerned with my perspective. And from my perspective, we've been doing this forever. And it's been something that's beneficial to us.
So-
And it doesn't and we can see similar examples in nature.
On what basis do you not value their perspective, but you value humans? Do you also not value the perspective of, say, a dog? Like, would you be comfortable if somebody was abusing a dog, for instance?
Well, abusing a dog is needless. Like there is no benefit. And you could say that abusing a dog is not necessary.
Right. Do you think it's necessary for us to eat any animals?
Necessary. I think it's beneficial. I don't think the same can be applied to a circus or abusing a dog needlessly because there is no benefit. There's no benefit to abusing a dog.
Well, let's say I was
There's no-
kicking them and I was getting exercise. I was burning calories. Would that be a good enough reason to use them?
No, because like
Why-
kicking,
yeah.
because kicking this motion, this is the same.
I could kick a tree, but similarly, I could kick something else, right? That's the point.
You don't have to kick.
But I could not kick something. I could kick a punching bag. If I have a choice to kick something else, it's not justified to kick the dog. Do you think if we have another choice, but to cause a cow to be chopped up, should we choose the other option?
I don't think kicking a dog is like a parallel to eating one.
It's
like
worse, right? To eat somebody, you have to kill them. You have to take away their whole life, right?
I don't think so because you're getting something.
You don't have to kill somebody to eat
No,
them.
I mean I don't think it's worse. I think it's a natural thing.
Would you
that is
prefer to be
beneficial
kicked or
you.
killed?
Me? Well, I'm not a dog, so I don't hold
Well, what
my.
do you
I don't
prefer?
hold my. I would prefer to be kicked. I prefer.
Right.
But I don't hold.
Exactly.
I don't hold the dog to the same like evaluation of life
Right.
as I do.
But if you would rather be kicked than killed, why is it acceptable to escalate the violence against pigs and cows? Because, right, you're doing something much worse than kicking. You admit that it would be worse
Well, I
to
don't
be
think
killed.
the life of a cow or an animal is equal to our lives. I think
You
they
don't have to
matter.
think it's equal. You just have to think it's worth
don't think-
more than your pleasure.
I don't. I think it's worth less than my pleasure.
So when you're weighing it up and you think about maybe the 10 or 15 minutes of pleasure that you get from consuming an animal's
Well, I
flesh.
think it's
Wait,
also
I'm
just
not
the health
finished.
part.
When you're thinking about those 15 minutes of pleasure where you're consuming their flesh or their secretions, does that outweigh the entire life and the suffering of the animal when you weigh it up with your morals?
I don't think it's 15 minutes. I think it's like a pattern in a healthy diet. And yeah, I do.
Well,
think
it was like,
I think my healthy diet is worth more.
well, you could be healthy without using them.
Well,
That's the
eventually
point.
they're going to die anyways. So
Do you think just because somebody's going to die at some point, does that give us the right to kill them? Because we could, like, I'm going to die, but you shouldn't kill me, right?
yeah, we should just kill anyone, but it's not like
Right. So why should we kill cows just because they're going to die? Because they might live 20 or 25 years.
well, I don't think it's just because they're going to die. I think it's a bunch of other things. I don't think it's like
Well, what's
we-
the reason it's acceptable to you?
because the cow's life is worth less to me than the benefits the meat provides to me in my diet and the pleasure it provides to my
Well,
brain or my
yeah.
dopamine or whatever.
So do you weigh your pleasure? Do you think pleasure is a justification to kill?
For an animal, yes.
So would my pleasure be a good enough reason to kill a dog?
If you're going to use it, I don't like waste. Like I wouldn't do.
Let's say I wanted to drink the dog's blood. Would that be fair to kill them?
I think we should use as much of the animal as we can.
Would it
but
be
I
fair
mean,
to
sure.
kill the dog to drink their blood?
Yeah, I think it would.
All right. Well, we're usually talking to folks who are against animal abuse and dog abuse. So I'll leave it with the card.
I just think it's like it's sort of like a cultural thing. Like if the Vietnamese want to, I think it's Vietnam. I don't want to be racist to whoever's watching, but I'm 95% sure like the Vietnamese they kill dog and eat them, or that was a part of their diet. I think it's a little bit of what's the word? It's like something centric. It's something I learned.
We oppose like all of the animal use. It's not about.
Holy, that was a car.
God damn. God damn.
He had like a nozzle on the front of his car that like shot fire or something. For the viewer, we're not.
That was a lot. That was a lot. Well, I'm not sure that we'll reach too much commonality if you don't believe dog abuse is wrong, but I can
I
leave
think
you.
I don't think eating and utilizing the what's the word?
So do you think
Like the-
killing a dog when you don't need to, is that abuse?
If you're not going to use it, I think that's wasteful.
No, not that you're not going to use it, because we could use something that we don't need. I'm asking if we don't need to use the dog, if we have another option, we don't need to kill them, is it abusive to kill the dog? Yes or no?
If you're going to use it, no. I don't think it's abusive.
You're dodging. I'm asking.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not intending.
Okay, let me try to rephrase it. I know that we may use that, like we could use the dog, but regardless of whether we're going to use them, is it fair to shoot the dog if we don't need to?
I think it could be.
All right.
Not always. I think it depends. I don't think there's like absolutes, but yeah, I think it could be fair to shoot the dog.
Why?
Because I think everything is like.
Why would it be fair from the dog's perspective?
Well, I'm not as concerned with the dog's perspective as I am mine or a human's.
So you just denigrate the dog's perspective and elevate
Yes.
your own?
Yes.
Do you think that's fair?
Yes, I'm smarter than
Alright.
the dog.
Do you think it's fair to oppress somebody who's less intelligent than you?
No, because I think the intelligence of even a very, very stupid human outweighs the dog by very much. And also,
Let's imagine a
Also, it doesn't
hypothetical.
even have to. It's
Let's
my
imagine
species.
a hypothetical where the dog has the exact same intelligence as the human. Is it acceptable to kill a human for pleasure?
No,
if
I
they
would
have
not.
the same
If they're
intelligence.
the same intelligence, no, I would.
So then why is it okay for the dog if they have the same intelligence?
Because they don't have the same intelligence.
No, we just said in the hypothetical.
On
they
the
have the same.
hypothetical, I don't think it's
So
okay.
then why would it be okay for the dog but not the human? Because you said it's acceptable to kill the dog for pleasure, but not okay to kill the
I think
human.
if they were smart, it wouldn't be. I think if they were equally like as intelligent or comparable,
Do
it
you
wouldn't be fair. No, I don't think we should kill the dog if it was an intelligent like.
No, you're dodging again. I'm asking
I'm sorry,
if
I'm
a dog,
defending
yeah, it's okay. If a dog has the same intelligence, or excuse me, if a human has the exact same intelligence as a dog, if their intelligence equalized, is it fair to shoot the human when you don't need to?
No, because I think the human also has weight and the commonality, like it shares my species. So I think it would matter more to me.
So it's kind of like an arbitrary discrimination. They're part of my
I don't think it's
species.
arbitrary. I think it's biology. But if it's arbitrary, I'm sure. Yeah, I think.
Well, yes, species is a construct. We've made it up. So to appeal to saying, I just care about my group,
It's like a specific thing.
it's absolutely made up.
It's not made up. I can't reproduce with a dog. Isn't that what?
You can't reproduce with many other humans either.
I can't reproduce.
That wouldn't make them not human, right? Like it's a construct that we have. So saying that they're not part of my group, do you think that? Do you think saying they're not part of my group justifies harming somebody?
Yeah, because I don't think species is arbitrary. I took biology and I didn't do that well. It was a while ago, and I might not remember everything. But species aren't an arbitrary thing.
It wasn't something that we talked about until scientists invented it, because it's an arbitrary
But,
construct.
so was like time or whatever. There's a lot of things that are like arbitrary. I don't think that like species.
Yeah, but you're
biology-
trying to use an arbitrary group. You're saying they're
but I don't
not part
think
of
it is
my group.
arbitrary. So that's like just a flat. You can't get through to me like that because I just don't think it's arbitrary. I think humans are definitively.
Well, what's special about them?
Humans?
Yeah.
I am one. So yeah.
So it's just kind of a selfish, self-serving thing.
I mean, yeah, but like that's. Yeah, I think. Well, we're
think
smarter,
that's a
and
good
I
thing?
am one. I think
Do you
that's
think
why
we should
matter
seek
more.
to be selfish?
I think we should seek to be selfish, but there's like to a certain point, like you should be generous, but you should be stingy enough that you have enough for yourself, sort of like that. I think we should.
I'll ask maybe just one more question, just to wrap it
Okay.
up. Do you think it's fair for another animal to enter a slaughterhouse for you personally, if there's no need for it? If you could have just ate something else, and your body would have thrived.
If it was another animal, but like I want to eat animals. I think it's a natural thing.
Do you think wanting to be violent towards other animals, does that justify being violent towards them?
Well, I'm not the violent one. It's the butcher, and I'm paying
Right, but you
for
pay
it.
them to do it.
Yeah, I
So
guess
you're
it's sort of like
Yeah.
a
A
me
hitman,
distancing myself.
a hitman, so to speak, right?
Well,
You're hiring somebody effectively
guess
to
it's
kill
kind of
an
like,
animal for you. Right?
I guess it's kind of like the military, like a soldier. Like a soldier, he protects you, provides something that benefits you. Maybe you don't need it. And I'm not supportive.
We
of,
don't
like,
support militarism
I'm
here.
not supportive of like the current.
We're
I shouldn't
anti-war,
say
yeah.
much because I am in the military. I'm not for political reasons. I did it like economically, for me personally. But in a hypothetical situation, not everyone needs to be a soldier. Soldier can be considered like this might be a really like.
So you kind
messed
of got
up.
a little far from the
I
question.
did get a little far, but I guess like
how many animals would you prefer enter the slaughterhouse for you in the future if none of them need to enter the slaughterhouse for you? How many do you prefer?
as many as an ideal healthy
We've gone over that you don't need it for health, so that's not relevant.
okay, as many as the diet I'm used to requires, because I just don't think their lives matter
More than your habit? They don't matter more than your habits? The entire lives of other animals?
Well, I mean,
Like they
somewhat, yeah.
Mm.
I would say that.
All right. Would you leave a card? I know that it's been a little bit back and forth, but just you might find maybe tomorrow you're like, I'm still thinking about this and I want to read a little bit more. Would you be willing to take a card?
I'll take a card. I'm
All right.
probably not going to change my opinion. But also just because, this is I'm negotiating or not negotiating. I'm discussing with you in like an atheist way.
I'm also an atheist.
Yeah. But like I'm not. But like I don't like finding common ground in religion with people who aren't religious, because that's not gonna hit you. In the same way that you're atheism when
Like we were saying, like it doesn't require, no religion requires you to participate in the
Well, yeah, I'm just
exploitation of
saying,
other animals.
but,
So it's
like,
not a reason to
to me-
continue
to me,
exploiting.
like I'm told that like I'm explicitly told by the word of God that
That you don't need to.
I don't need to, but
Right.
like
So
I'm
why
already
would you? Why would you
because
be
I'm-
violent when you don't
because
need
I'm
to?
told it's fine. I'm told there's no because
You're told it's okay to be violent by a book, so therefore it's
I
okay.
don't think it's by a book. I think it's by my creator. And that's why I didn't want to use like religious rhetoric, because it's just something that if we don't, it's like we don't agree that it's like not agreeing a certain equation equals something. So there's no point in me bringing like that up, besides for me to tell you that like no matter what we debate here in like in a conversation devoid of religion or devoid of faith, I'm still going to have this other thing that I believe anyways. I just wasn't using that because I don't like.
Well,
I know
and
it's
you
not
weren't
gonna
using
be-
it because it's not relevant
Yeah, I
to the
don't-
conversation at all. Because
I think it's
you
relevant, but I
could
didn't
be
think it was
vegan
doing
and religious. It's not relevant.
I mean, I didn't want to use it because I didn't think we couldn't find common ground in religion if you don't share my religion.
It's just
That's
also
why I
not
do
relevant.
think
Yeah.
it's relevant because I'm told by God, who I know you think.
How did he tell you?
I think through this book, which I think is his word.
You said it was his word. Now it's a book.
Well, if I can write down your word, it's still your word. It's just in a book. That's kind of like semantics.
Well, no, we just don't have anything to confirm that the words in there are God's
I mean,
words.
yeah, but if you could, then that would defeat the point of faith, And that's why I didn't want to. This is like now a religious space. I didn't want to bring
get
stuff
back
because
to
we
animals,
couldn't
yeah.
find like common ground on this, obviously. But like I wouldn't change my mind anyways. Even if you could convince me through this.
Maybe just like two questions. Like if there's a dog walking by here and somebody is kicking them, do you feel the need to intervene?
I would intervene.
Right.
Yeah.
So if somebody's here and a pig's walking by and they're kicking them, do you intervene?
I would intervene no matter the animal, because I don't want to see that. Like I don't think that should happen outside of like in Islam, for example. I am going to bring religion into this really quick. We don't eat meat that isn't slaughtered in like humane way. And you might argue that there is no humane way to kill an animal for pleasure or for eating.
Yep, there's not.
But from my view, there is a humane way. And if someone's
Why? How would it be humane?
because I am
You're stealing life when you don't need to.
well, talking. Sorry. Well, I'm told, I know like we're not going to agree on this, but I'm told by my creator, which I think is like.
Do you think for yourself?
I do think for myself. I choose to subscribe to this the same way I choose to subscribe to the laws of America. And if I didn't want to subscribe to it, I'd move somewhere else. And the same way with religion, I would stop believing it. All right. But
your religion doesn't have anything to do with not being able to go vegan. It doesn't say anything about it. You could opt
I
out.
also don't have a reason to, because I'm told that it's fine. So why would I? If I'm told by what I believe, and I know like we can't find common ground.
Right here. You're going in circles a bit, so I think
Yeah.
we should wrap it here.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your time and wishing you a great night.
I wasn't. I just want to make sure like you didn't think I was being like rude in any way. I thought we were having a really good debate.
No.
Yeah.
I appreciate your
All right.
conversation.
Thank
and
you
your
very much. Want your man?
Yes,
All
I
right.
will.
Thank you very much.
Wishing you a good one.
You too. It's just it rubs me the wrong way.
All right.
That's all the time. It was so fun. But at the end.
Hello, Spooky. It's great to see all of y'all. Hello, Vegan Anthem. Once Anna's finished up here, we are going to end this live. It's great to see some vegans here. To any of the non-vegans, I'm going to ask you to post your best argument against veganism in the chat so that we can open up a conversation. Hi, Eston.
Someone says that pigs, cows, horses do not have a conscience like humans do.
as humans.
So what do you mean by a conscience? Do you mean they're conscious? Is that what you mean? Pigs, cows, and horses are certainly conscious and sentient. They feel pain, they suffer, they have desires, they want to live. Why would we steal their life from them if we don't need to?
Yeah, well,
It doesn't.
it's because of the no. Well,
Where did that come?
Eston says, you did an excellent job keeping your cool as always. Yeah, I'm not trying to argue. It can be frustrating at times to hear some of the arguments, but I'm not trying to argue with anybody. I appreciate that. Hi, Vegan Anthem. It's great to see y'all. Keep double tapping that screen, sharing the live. We intended to wrap up a bit ago, but we've been having some good conversations, which kept us live. I appreciate all of the vegans here. I know it hasn't been as active and exciting as some of our anti-animal use lives, but nonetheless, we are just getting started at Total Liberation now. There'll be many lives to come. We've had a lot of success here at the Vancouver Waterfront for just our first live.
Yes. Yes, we are in Vancouver.
Vancouver, Washington, on the waterfront. If you're looking to have some conversations with a vegan, if you're wanting to interrogate some of these arguments, join us. We'll be here in the future too. Oh yeah. And also, if you are an activist, or if you're looking to become more active and you're a vegan,
not Canada, although that is
Washington State.
that would definitely be pretty cool.
Yeah, please do subscribe to Anti-Animal Use as well as Total Liberation Now. That's where we are active. You can also follow those accounts on Instagram. You'll see future events if you're a vegan in the area and you're wanting to become more active. We are very welcoming. We're opening to new vegans. We are looking to have this conversation. Good company here, says Spooky. Yes, it's great to have you here. Allison says, I love spending the evenings by the water. Isn't it just beautiful? Just like seeing the little bit of city light reflecting off the river. It really is nice. The street lights have come on. It's a little bit later than we were intending to be here, but we've had some good conversations and they've kept us going, both off camera and on. Right now, Anna's having some off camera conversations. So once those wrap up, we are going to end our live and call it a day. Between anti-animal use earlier on the other side of the river in Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington on this side of the river, it's been a very busy day. Done a lot of outreach, a lot of conversations.
Yeah, it's always like a good experience.
Hello, I see you, Spooky. Thank you for the hearts.
I'm so sorry.
We are going to end this live, y'all. It's been so great to have you here for the first Total Liberation Now live stream.
So epic.
It's been amazing.
Really good.
I want to thank
like
Vegan Stoner
riding
Lady.
Thank you. Because like honestly, I definitely haven't envisioned this day without you. Like, so like,
Love it.
and
This is amazing.
also
I'm glad we-
obviously like I also like kind of I also see like Rebecca out here too.
Yes, we want Rebecca to be out here.
And Nick too. You know, like just like
Yes,
everybody.
just
crew.
representing everybody.
We miss you all.
Because like it just would be cool to do like, anti-animals use here too,
Oh,
or you know,
Just rotate through the groups.
It
Yeah.
just shows that we can
Yeah.
really pop up anywhere.
Yep.
Do follow me on Instagram. I am Enigma, genderless.enigma. And do subscribe to Total Liberation Now here on YouTube, as well as follow on Instagram. I don't have a schedule to tell you when we'll be live exactly next, but if you subscribe and turn on post notifs, you'll be the first to know. And it will be soon, because this was just a very successful evening of outreach here on the Vancouver waterfront. So we will be out here again soon. It's been a great time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Vegan Stoner Lady. You can find me on almost all social medias. We're also part of the anti-animal use. So go check us out on YouTube and Instagram. And yeah.
Yes. It was a great night, actually. We definitely were out here longer than I thought we would be. So many more conversations than I thought we would see, and so much more open-mindedness than I thought I would run into. So it's just very amazing. It leaves me feeling refreshed, actually.
Yes,
I felt like after our anti-animal use live, I was feeling a little, there's little mice just running around here. But yeah, just feeling refreshed, you know, getting to rack people's brains about, you know, liberation, like, and oppression and power and hierarchical structures. Like, you got to really like dismantle them all. And
If we're not here to have this conversation, then who's going to have it? And if we don't decide to have this conversation now, then when? Who's going to do this important work?
yes, exactly.
I do want to throw in there too that we are surrounded by like right next to
Oh, yeah.
steak restaurant,
So burger and
fish
whiskey
restaurant,
Mhm.
fishes restaurant,
salt and straw.
A lot of the
fish-
folks,
salt and straw, dairy.
like a lot of the folks who we've been having both on and off camera conversations with probably came directly from restaurants where they were
Yeah.
participating in the use of other animals.
That one I just
yet
had
they were
with
still
Caitlin.
open.
Yeah, Caitlin literally had had stuff in her hand in her meal, but she's still willing to talk about it, and I think that's something that's super amazing. So, I wanted to say I'm vegan on Instagram or anywhere else. I think I sent a comment as Genderless Enigma with my username, so you can see both of our usernames there, except for Enigma's on Instagram as an underscore instead of a dot. But yeah, this was our first live stream, and it was great.
So happy to be becoming
It's
more
great to be here.
active. Total liberation now. There's no other time but now. It's let's do this.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
I guess we haven't ever ended a live before.
We gotta do it on the other device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just looking at the live delay a little bit.
Perfect. We're gonna end it, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.